This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life.
Welcome to Dead Radio.
We're not doing that.
How did she come to have sex with a dead man?
Don't call me Radio Unit 91.
You're a dead man. You're a dead man!
He's God here in this radio station.
Place where the dead speak.
Rebel Radio!
I'm a fake? Yes. How'd you like to be dead?
You ever think about doing radio?
My team is dead!
But you're not crazy. You're me. And this is just radio.
By the powers vested in me by the Federal Communications Commission, I command you to get on the microphone in a serious manner and continue this broadcast.
All right.
Everything working.
It's one of those things where they're like, hey, try the new software. It's totally awesome.
Yeah.
And then you got to restart.
Everything's exactly the same except for it doesn't work.
Yeah. And you got to restart it and all that stuff.
That's why I haven't updated my Mac in like 6 months.
Yeah, I'm worried because there's a new thing that's up and I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
I wind up having like a lot of problems.
Nope.
What are you doing?
Being stupid.
He's reverbing.
When I don't update my laptop, I wind up having a lot of problems with like third-party programs like Adobe.
Yeah, I'm having that issue right now with Premiere.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I have is with updates on the Windows one. The Mac usually is fine. It's those weird
And it's a good thing
apps.
they make you update it every 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. It's the worst, man. Like,
Yeah.
I thought I had to do it today because it was acting a little clunky. Because every time it does have an update, you can't do anything on it.
Yeah.
No,
You start working on your computer, and then everything starts freezing up, and you're like, oh, I must need an update. Yep, I need an update. And now you got to sit there and wait for everything to unfreeze itself.
Yeah, and it takes like 6 hours.
And then the update's 45 minutes to an hour long. It's ridiculous.
And all you want to do is watch porn, but now you can't.
Yes, exactly. You got to go to your phone. You got to watch it on this tiny screen like an animal.
You got to put it like 3 inches from your face. You're like, this might work.
You should
Welcome
get one
to
of those. I'll give you my VR headset.
Ooh.
You know?
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
That's right.
Welcome to Dead
Especially
Radio
you couldn't
episode.
see someone walking into the room.
2:30. What a wonderful sight that would be. Real quick, I want to jump right into it because I don't want. It was a surprise, and I don't want Brooke like hanging out on the stairs the entire time. Brooke, you ready? All right. So this is a surprise leftover from the Halloween party
Is it
on
an ice
Saturday.
sculpture?
Mhm.
It's something like it is a sculpture of sorts, and Brooke
What
is
the
bringing out.
It's a brain. Oh.
Brooke made an alcoholic Jello brain.
Oh. Oh.
How'd you forget about that?
Oh.
Wait, let me take a picture of it before you cut into
My
it.
stomach is already churning right now.
I don't want to use that on the plate. That knife.
That's an old school butcher
Effect.
knife, too.
I want to I figured we could do this for. This is kind of like what are you eating and what are you drinking at the same time. So how about that shit?
I'm going to do a hard pass on that one.
Yeah, you
No
don't want
offense
it?
to Brooke.
So I'm gonna do this. Hold on for this. Hold on. I think see if I can pull it off here.
Dead.
Radio?
Don't just stare at it.
What are you drinking?
There you go.
You just like meld those two together. Nice.
Both barrels.
What did she say?
I have no idea. Spoons. She's probably gonna get spoons. But yeah, we made in classic Brooke form, overcooked, overprepared for the
Oh, God, you guys
Halloween
did.
party. There's so much left over. It's ridiculous.
It's got
So,
a grainy consistency.
Oh man, this
I will
is
say
like
the whatever that was, the gluten-free meatballs, whatever they were.
oh, those were Bloody Mary meatballs that my mom made.
Whatever they were, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of mushrooms at all. Like I'll literally not eat anything with mushrooms. And those weren't bad.
Yeah.
They were pretty damn good. So
Did you want
Kudos.
some
No,
brain?
no,
You're
very
not,
boozy.
you don't drink, right?
Nah, sorry.
It's pretty boozy.
I was really boozy. Bro, it was super strong. Yeah.
I have a feeling in an hour you guys are going to be passed out, and I'm going to be on this thing radio by myself.
It's a lot. I think, what'd you say was
I've never been
two-thirds of a cup? Per box. How many boxes are in this?
Yeah.
What?
There's a fucking loud booze
I've
in
never
this.
been able to get Jello that firm when I do the alcoholic. Yeah.
Yeah, extra gelatin.
Extra gelatin.
And there's...
Not the packaged gelatin, just plain gelatin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
gonna
good
bring
idea.
some of this home for Amy.
Oh, she'll eat the shit out of that.
She probably won't.
Bring it all home. I don't care.
Take it all.
It's got a weird consistency because there's sweetened condensed milk in it too, right?
Really?
That's fine.
It's not a lot. She just put in a little bit. But to get the
Yeah, I
kind of
won't do
color, to get the look.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were cleaning out our. We had a for people who don't know, Brooke and I celebrated our 10th wedding anniversary this past Halloween. It's okay. Hold your applause.
Wait, hang on.
Because we're getting a divorce.
Oh, okay.
So we decided to throw a party on the 2nd after Halloween and a big Halloween soiree, and we overprepared, and this brain just never made it out to the dessert table.
I don't even remember a dessert table.
Oh, there were homemade Samoas in there.
Oh, I did have one of
Gluten-free
those.
Samoas.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
you remember.
Yeah.
Period.
I didn't remember that you were coming. Yeah. I had no idea.
It was a fucking banger. I think we
Yeah.
did okay. I don't know.
There was
But
a
see,
lot of-
It was like way spread out. That
Yeah.
was the thing about it. Like the way we had it set up was kind of
No, it was awesome.
weird. But I was afraid no one was going to be in the tent because for the people at home, we set up a tent in our driveway, and then in between a big party tent.
It was like an army tent.
And in between that and my house was another tent where all the hot food was under and all the booze. And then in my garage was set up from Halloween. That's the same thing we always do.
You strategically placed these tents so that one of the legs is directly in
Oh
front of
my
the door.
God, it drove
Yep.
me nuts.
Yep. I remember
And
that.
like Russ was helping us the whole day. You know, he was just down to help. He put that up and like he had set up everything so nice. And then I noticed that and I was just like, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let it sit there.
Let people fall.
I'm just gonna tie a bunch of fucking
that was my idea.
glow sticks on it. No, the glow sticks thing that was like
Yeah,
way early, right?
No,
Oh, yeah,
I
you were
walked
there for
into
that.
it.
Yeah.
I walked into it and I said, "Be prepared for that to have go about 100 more
Oh
times."
no, we knew about it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had glow
You did a
sticks
couple
tied
times,
around
yeah.
it like before we even started the whole
okay.
thing. So like I knew it was gonna happen, and I was wondering how many people got clipped by it. I know he
Yeah.
did.
A
But
couple-
that was before I was even drinking.
I know. I know.
Yeah, that
And-
was the first 20 minutes.
And I know CJ did, but I don't know anybody else.
Whoever that guy was that was dressed as a Teletubby.
Ryan tripped over a lot of things.
Bro. Wow. He just walked
wanna
up
save it-
hugging everybody, and I'm like, "Hi, how you doing, man?"
I want to save it for when he's on the show because he had a little tumble in the bathroom.
Tinky Winky had a tumble. No
He
shit.
had a tumble.
Write that down.
But yeah, he wants to come on the show.
Yeah.
He'll be on in the next couple weeks. I'm sure. I got to figure out.
Set it up.
what he-
I'm waiting to hear back from Magnus.
Oh, okay, cool.
He got back to me. He just doesn't know dates specifically yet.
So
Yeah.
So he'll be on the show. He'll talk. I'll bring it up. He'll probably be embarrassed as hell because he seemed embarrassed as hell, but he was also drunk as hell. So when you're drunk as hell and embarrassed and sorry, all that comes out really heavily.
And dressed as a Teletubby.
And dressed as a bearded Teletubby. Teletubby.
Where do you even get a costume that size of a Teletubby? He's like 6'2", isn't he?
He might have made it.
Yeah.
He does fabrication stuff. For
It
like
looks
art and-
semi-custom, and it reminded me of that scene in Zack and Miri Make a Porno, when they close the coffee shop, and then that guy just like wanders in, and he's like, "I need coffee so I can sober up and drive home."
I don't remember that one. That scene.
And he's like screaming, "Hug it, chug it, football!" it just reminded me of that whole. That's all I kept seeing when I saw him.
Yeah, but I think it was a success.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Mike, when you got here tonight, had an
Mhm.
accident with the bidet.
Yes.
And the same exact thing happened the night of the party
Well,
to CJ.
Oh no!
Should we play what bumper for this
I don't
earring
know.
story?
Dead Radio presents.
not really.
Kinda, not really. I mean, it's like getting peed on.
So I got to discuss this again.
Yeah. You gotta do it. You gotta
All
do it
right.
again.
So on Saturday, we had an in-depth discussion about the bidet.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know the intricacies of this because I'm kind of curious. So I didn't actually go to the bathroom in that bathroom on Saturday. I went upstairs. And
Upstairs got one too. It's just
I didn't mess around because I was too well suited. So today I was like, oh, I got a few extra minutes. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So I walk in and I see the bidet and I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, do my thing. And then it's like, all right, I gotta see like what kind of pressure this mamma jam is going on. So I turn it on low, and I don't see anything. It's just kind of like a little piss trickle coming out of the bottom, and I'm like, dude, this thing fucking sucks. So then I turn it up one more notch, and like a dog dick lipstick, this thing just shoots out from the bottom, and then water just arcs like 3 fucking feet right onto my pants, and I'm going fuck. So I'm fiddling the damn thing, and then boop, it goes back in.
Yeah.
And I look down, and there's like a big old water stain right now on my pants.
It's totally fine. It's just
completely clean
completely
water.
clean water. You could drink out of it if you wanted to.
Yeah, it's just the irony. It's just the irony that thing was a couple inches away from multiple people's assholes at some point in
Yeah,
time.
yeah, it's only about
just-
this far.
It's
You
just
could
one of
probably-
those things that you're thinking about that, but it's perfectly clean.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
I still wouldn't drink. out
I
of it,
understand. It's
but-
kind of like the toilet water inside the tank is clean, and you could drink out of it, but you don't want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
So what CJ did was CJ turned it on high.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He came out and it looked like he had a gunshot wound in his fucking on his side, and he was just like, dude, and he was shit faced. This is my stepbrother. He was demolished very early on. I think he showed up demolished, but he got hit, and he's just like, I thought it was to flush it. I was just like, what? What are you talking about? When have you seen a toilet with a flusher with a dial that flushes on the side of the toilet? When have you seen that before? I don't know. It almost blew me into the tub. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, because he turned it up high. You turn it up high,
Oh,
it stings.
Yeah, I got hit by a super soaker, so imagine what that thing was like.
Yeah, it was no fun. It's no fun on high. Well, it's no fun for the uninitiated.
I think
trying to give yourself an enema.
Yeah.
I think everybody related to you in some way, shape, or form on Saturday was shit faced.
Yeah. What? What? Huh? What are you talking about?
On
said
Saturday.
all
Oh,
your family was
everyone
all
related
shit-faced.
to me. I thought you were like relating to me on like
No,
an
like,
emotional
related to you,
level or
yeah.
some shit.
Huh.
No, related to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only person that wasn't was my father, and it's probably because he was driving or whatever.
Yeah, him and I had a good conversation. It was nice.
Yeah. Did you notice his fucking knee?
No.
No.
What
His
happened?
knee is gross to look at.
No, he
Why?
didn't bring the pant leg up and show me.
He didn't have to, man. He's got a fucking softball growing out of the side of his fucking his right knee. I think is right. It goes like in, like the knee is starting to bend like inward.
Ooh.
So like if you took your right leg, all right, and you turned your foot completely like perpendicular to your left foot and walked around like that, that's what he looks like, except both feet are facing straight.
Oh,
What's wrong with it?
He's got fucking arthritis, and he just won't take care of it. I think it's his bad knee, bursitis, and I think it's his bad knee from when he had major reconstructive surgery, like back in like the fucking early '90s or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So you know that's gonna hold up real
I'm
well.
just really hoping for like they get this like bionic suit thing, like
yeah,
in
I saw
fucking
that.
Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they have them. They're just really expensive and they don't work too well. But in like 10 years,
oh,
when
yeah.
my knee's totally gone, I'm just gonna have like half a robot body.
Yes, I can't wait.
Because it's gonna get at some point it'll get to the point where having a robotic exoskeleton will be cheaper than replacing your knee.
Yeah, and I was told
It's gonna be awesome.
I need to get knee surgery again, and my doctor's like, yeah, you might need knee replacement very soon. I'm like, no, fuck you, no.
I'm
yeah,
waiting.
you put it
I'm
as
waiting.
long as you can.
Yeah,
because
I'm all for the Iron Man roadie, whatever it was, exoskeleton legs thing.
yeah, 'cause my mom had both of them done at the same time, and the doctor was like, she put it off, and the doctor's like, they're good for like 50 years now. She's like, if you need one when you're 90, like,
Yeah.
that's, you can put it off at that point. Be in a wheelchair when you're 90.
Yeah.
Don't be in pain every day when you're in your 40s.
Maybe by 90, you
Yeah.
even have like all that bionic shit would come out by then.
By 90,
What
I
the
think
fuck
I think you should be allowed to take as much Vicodin and Percocet as you want. Just say fuck it. Just let this.
They just give you like a a Black American Express card to
Yeah.
the pharmacist.
Or just press the button for morphine. Just be like, I'm 90 fucking years old. Click.
I wonder what 90 is going to look like for us. Because it doesn't even look as bad as it did 10 years ago.
Nah,
now.
man, 70 doesn't even look bad now.
No.
It's pretty amazing.
I'm almost 40, and I actually look younger now than I did when I was in my 20s. So, look
that's
better.
all the weight that you lost. You look amazing, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it. This is what happens when, you stop eating crap and you start working out 2 hours a day.
Well, I'm not doing any of that.
Can you pass me some more of that brain?
Yeah, speaking of which, I ate. I've been eating like garbage lately, and I was just like, you know what? After the party, it's all done. I'll start eating a lot better. All we have is leftovers, and most of it is like cured meat.
Ooh.
Oh, I
And
forgot. I was
fried rice.
I was going to bring
and-
you liverwurst.
Oh, damn it!
Forgot.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, even if I remembered, I forgot to take it out of the freezer this morning
okay.
anyway. So
That's one of those things I can't eat anymore. I tried, I used to
I've never
love it.
actually had it, so I was going to try it for the first time on the show.
I thought it was good when I was a kid. I loved it. And then I was like, let's try it again and see what it's like now. And now I eat it. I'm like, dude, this thing sucks. How can I eat this? It's same as like bologna.
It's just very rich, right?
Yeah.
It's like really rich sausage. Cause
It's like a pate almost.
Yeah, it's like a cross between pate and bologna.
Yeah. And I just can't eat it because it's...
See, I think I would like that fried, but I would not like that just right out of the fridge. No.
Liverwurst? Oh, I don't know. I think you can.
I don't think it,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not like
Oh,
spam.
maybe.
Yeah, it's not
Well,
like
then you
Spam.
can have it because I don't like cold cuts.
Oh, I'll eat the
Yeah.
fucking hell
cold,
out of that.
Cold, greasy meat just does not do it for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah,
I'll bring it by. You can have it.
I'll eat it.
We bought a half a pig, so I have like 150 pounds of pork in my freezer right now.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and we didn't we just copied the person's order. I gotta find out a little bit more about this because this is Amy's coworker's sister raises the pig, which is pretty awesome. So they raise these pigs.
Okay.
Basically, they just charge us what it costs to feed them, right? So no money for anything else, and then it's $1 a pound for butchering. So for like $300, you get 150 pounds of meat,
Wow.
and it's like all bacon. So much bacon. I have 15 or 20 pounds of bacon in my freezer. Just that alone would be $300 now.
I mean, like,
Bacon is like $6.99 a pound now.
Yeah. It's hella
Good
expensive.
shit like what we have, which is basically a organic, free range pig, would be twice that.
I'm at the edge of like not being addicted to bacon anymore
Yeah.
because I get it so regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
you just have two to three slices a shift, right?
Yeah. I have about.
If you stopped eating it, you would go through withdrawal.
You might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Like maybe I what's the term? I've built up a resistance to it or whatever, where I need more bacon to get that kind of that first bite, that flow of oh my god, this
like a
is the
Darren
greatest
Aronofsky
thing. I mean,
film.
Yes, like that, like heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
When
get
Homer-
it as
when Homer
much
eats
anymore.
The beef witch.
So how do you cook bacon? This is something that was brought up to me not too long ago, and I actually had a logical
There's
discussion.
two
about
different ways.
There's a couple different ways. At the Crafted Cup at 44 Raymond Avenue, Poughkeepsie, New York,
Shameless
I
plug.
have learned that if you bake it
Yeah.
for
You want to do it low and slow.
if you
Yeah.
bake it on 350 for 25 minutes on one side, flip it over, and it's about 15 minutes on the other, it comes out fucking amazing. You got to do it.
Perfecto, yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
do it on a what's that?
A
sheet-
grate.
A grate.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
that's what I
grate
do.
over a
Yeah,
sheet
so
pan.
so it drains down.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
other
that
way,
bullshit thing that comes in your broiler, that's not good enough.
No, that thing
the
sucks.
only other way that I will do that I 100% trust is in a cast iron pan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does I've tried baking all in different pans all the time. The only one that cooks it evenly and perfectly is the cast iron pan.
Yeah,
It's
you get that
fucking
that
weird.
thing screaming hot,
Yup.
and then turn off unplug the smoke detector.
Oh yeah.
And then
that
as
does
soon
this
as it starts to smoke, throw the bacon in, and then turn it to depending on what you're doing. If it's real thick cut bacon and you really like fat, like you want it to melt in your mouth, seriously 2 minutes on either side. It does not look done, but it is.
Yeah.
And then the other way, if you got the thin stuff, as soon as you put that in the pan, give it 30 seconds, screaming hot, turn it over, and then turn it down and cook it slow.
The
'Cause then you get that
old-
nice crispy bacon.
The old ball and chain doesn't like the smell of bacon in the air in the
She's
house.
been a vegetarian for
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah, what do you expect, man?
So I
You're cooking Orville.
I
over
remember.
here.
I remember when we used to go to wing night, and Bosch was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna go anymore because it's starting to gross Brooke out." Just seeing me and fucking Simon from WRFE trying to make the biggest pile of dead animal wings.
No.
covered in sauce, licking themselves. Yeah.
I'm sorry I brought up the bacon conversation. Now I'm starving.
Well, what I was getting at was she doesn't like the smell of bacon in the house. So what I do is I use a cast iron pan on the grill,
That's the way to
and
do
it gets
yeah.
so fucking hot, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, that'll
And then
work.
I leave the pan out on the grill for weeks before I use the grill again.
Don't
And
clean
then I
that
go,
grease up. I got a good
"That's
amount
where
of
that
juice."
pan is. So yeah.
Yeah. So we got. I mean, the cuts that we got. I want to talk to the guy next time, and because I'm not sure what went where, but we didn't get a lot of ribs. I was like, if I'm getting a half a pig, I was expecting to get a full rack of pork ribs. We didn't get that, so I'm not sure if there was a disconnect or whatever there. But I'm gonna tell the guy I want all the skin, I want the head, I want the hocks, I want everything.
Yeah, I want all
Because
the
chances are
garbage.
he's just throwing all that out.
Yeah, and
Or
you
know,
keep
I
it
could
for
put that.
himself.
Could
you
be,
know?
but I mean, I could take the skin and smoke it and make treats for the dogs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Pickle some pig's feet and send it over to
probably
Ryan
wouldn't do
Bosch's
that.
way.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can give them to you, and you can do that.
That's what my grandfather's shit. That was his thing.
Pickled pig's feet.
A nice big fucking glass of Rheingold extra dry and pickled pig's feet.
Yeah, and what age did he die at
He
again?
was in his 50s of heart disease. But he
Chan-
also
was he a
smoked.
smoker?
He smoked a lot.
That's why.
Two Luckies.
It's
Two Luckies in a Salem. Two
Yeah.
Luckies in a Salem. That was
That's-
his rhythm.
It's the combination of all those things. It's the salt. It's the alcohol. It's the fat.
Franco-American
and the
spaghetti with a
fucking-
fried egg. That
yeah.
was breakfast.
Because I eat, dude. I eat so much. Fat. I'm overweight, obviously, but I go get my cholesterol checked, and it's fucking perfect.
Meanwhile, my
I have no
cholesterol's through
problems
the
at all.
roof. Yeah.
What does that?
What is
tell
it?
you?
The HDL or the what is it? The HDL is the bad cholesterol, and that's and the LDL is the good cholesterol, and that's
Yeah.
And my doctor's like, "Oh, you need to fix this." I'm like, "Dude, come on, give me progress.
Yeah.
Give me a few minutes. Give me some
I
time."
think that the whole and I'm not an expert, even though I have a microphone in front of my face. The dietary cholesterol thing, I think it all is because of smoking.
Oh yeah.
Now that nobody smokes, I don't think that it really affects, because if I eat a fucking steak and then go get my cholesterol checked, of course it's going to be elevated.
Yeah, of course.
But if I fast for a day like they want you to, that's also not what your blood looks like normally.
I pitched a fit at the fucking doctor's office because I had I had coffee with milk and sugar and pancakes and shit, and then went to my doctor's appointment. They they had a conniption fit because they thought I was like pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
They're like,
No, I
sir,
had
you have
candy.
syrup in your blood.
I'm
had
like,
candy for
yeah,
breakfast.
I literally ate candy for
And
breakfast.
fried cake.
Oh no.
Fried cake with syrup on it.
That's one of those things I had to cut away from was pancakes
Ugh,
because I
There's
had
no way to do a healthy pancake that's worth eating.
buckwheat.
correct.
But it's not worth it.
It's
It's a substitute.
buckwheat is.
I know it's a replacement.
I would just rather have just a piece of whole wheat toast or something. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you can't do that, but
Yeah.
I mean, like I have pancakes maybe once a year.
Shit.
Because I'm not into sweets really.
I
I
didn't
would
ma-
much rather have 6 slices of bacon for breakfast
It's
than
weird-
a big stack of pancakes.
It's weird that I
works.
didn't make pancakes this weekend.
Yeah.
I usually make pancakes or waffles. Brooke likes waffles, so I typically make waffles a lot.
I prefer a waffle to a pancake. I would.
I'll
say.
take a waffle over pancake any day.
You want to see?
Yeah. Well, because with a pancake, if it's not done perfectly, like a waffle, you got a lot more.
I'm a pancake
Yeah.
fucking surgeon.
You got a lot. You got a lot more wiggle room for it to be a good waffle.
I'm a
For a
pancake
pancake, and for me, I mean, do you buy mix or do you do it from scratch?
I can do both.
No.
Yeah, I've
So like a
I've
big
had
difference.
the best is from scratch if I have the right combination of flour.
Yeah.
It's gluten free,
Yeah.
so it has to be like it has to be like rice flour, tapioca flour, and potato starch and xanthan gum and an extra egg and all
Holy
that shit like
shit.
that. Yeah, I have to mix all this fucking crazy shit together
Damn.
to get them like right.
Yeah.
But I mean, the mix that I get is just quick, gluten free, and they're perfectly good pancakes. Yeah.
Hey, if it works, man, do it.
Yeah,
Bob's
that's
Red Mill
my
makes
thing.
the
Like
best
I
one,
can,
though.
yeah, Bob's Red Mill's really good.
Yeah.
But we're talking about pancakes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm on what is it?
Pancake Talk on the Dead Radio podcast.
This is now hour 23 and a half of my 24-hour fast. So
Have some.
Yeah, so he's gonna be at the diner.
Have a gummy snake. Have part of a gummy snake.
I can't.
He's gonna be at the diner on his way home.
Oh,
getting some
fuck
pancakes.
you! I'm hitting a McDonald's on the way home. No, I'm allowed to have a cheat day.
We got lots of cured meats up in the fridge.
I was thinking that I'm just gonna raid your fridge and just steal whatever you got in there.
My nephew.
Would
did
you like
this
a
morning.
prosciutto skull?
Dude, I'll take it.
Fun, right?
I'll
That was
take
a
it at
fun
this
one.
point. I'm allowed to have as much meat as I want. I just can't have carbs, which
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, that was the only thing that worked. I lost like 40 pounds, but I've gained it all back since like the holidays. It just went off the rails, and I just haven't been able to do it.
Nah,
Yeah.
you can't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it works. You just have to stick with it for the rest of your life.
That's what sucks. It's like every day especially now because of after Halloween and all the candy's like 50 or 60% off, and you're just like, I want to stay at home and just eat Reese's and watch Netflix.
How about the people that buy 1,500 pieces of candy and have a light year?
No.
Ooh.
That's us.
Yeah.
There's a fucking tote bag full of half full of candy over there. Reese's, Snickers, Three Musketeers, Butterfinger.
Here's what you do, Brooke.
The fucking
Here's
good,
what you do to
the
keep him from
fucking
eating it.
good shit. The black tar is in
You
there,
fucking
in that
weigh
bag.
That's how you keep him from eating it.
Or you just
weigh
give
it,
it out for Christmas
weigh it,
and shit.
and then don't just be like, I know the number. I'm not telling you what it is. Don't touch the candy.
What happened? I'll be
He's like skimming
I'll
like
be-
a fucking meth head.
Replacing it with like little pieces. Like
She finds a
taking the
bag of
wrapper.
marbles at the bottom.
I'm burning wrappers in the backyard.
I could just see him
It's
outside.
like a pile of leaves on fire.
I just had a weird image of like of Bosch as like cousin Eddie wearing the robe, just burning shit, smoking a cigar, like everything burns, everything burns.
Well, we've talked about this on this show. I came over to borrow a cooler one time, and Bosch picks up a cooler to hand it to me, and he goes, "What the hell?" Opens it up. He's like, "Oh, it's full of candy." And Brooke, just in the background's like,
You found my secret hiding spot.
"No, you would buy it in bulk for Halloween and then hide it."
Yeah.
Yeah,
We buy all like the hard candies and all that. Like
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You buy like hard
We never
candies
think
and the
that
gummies
far
and all
ahead.
that crap that won't go bad. Get that.
No, no, I can't think that far ahead, and I'd probably end up eating it all anyway.
Shit, we got fucking costume ideas already.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I went on last night and I put on my Google Drive costume ideas,
Yeah.
single and couple wise,
Just in case.
just in case, because you never know what's gonna happen. I mean, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, whatever.
It was Halloween
wanna-
night. I'm in the bathroom washing off my fucking my makeup, and she's sitting in there with a glass of wine, talking to me about what we're doing next, what
Yeah.
to do next year. Came up with some cool ideas.
Nice. Well, I also have to plan Comic-Con too.
What's that?
I have to plan Comic-Con as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you just were at.
Yeah,
the
I kind of
most
expected
recent
you to show up in that costume.
I didn't have time, man.
Yeah.
And I was actually I had
'Cause
this.
You were the shadow, right?
Yeah, I was the shadow for Comic-Con. I wanted to do something.
It was shocking how many people you said because I talked to you a little bit at the party.
Yeah.
How few people
Like,
knew who the fuck that was.
Everybody was like Joker or Harley Quinn or
Why would
for
you?
Comic-Con.
I was It for Halloween
Yeah.
because
But you did a good job.
I did Tim Curry's It.
Yeah.
A and
Yeah.
B. It's my 10-year anniversary. Brooke hates fucking clowns, so it was like she was like, if you want to do a clown costume, this is the year. Go ahead and have at it.
Yeah, you
so
got
I had
you got
had
the
no
hall
choice.
pass.
I had
You got
no
the hall
choice. I
pass.
got the hall pass.
Yeah.
But you also didn't do, 2017 or 2019 It.
But I
Yeah.
wouldn't have if I was able to do the new It. I wouldn't do the new It.
No, you do it in like 8 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody there was the Joker, Harley Quinn, or the new It. And I'm looking around going, wow, the individuality in this place is through the fucking roof.
Like I never would have thought to do the shadow. That's a great idea.
Oh
And-
no, it's
And
fantastic.
especially for people like us who remember the movie when it came out when we were kids.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. And
and your buddy, the Rocketeer.
yeah, that was awesome.
Fuck yeah, the
That
Rocketeer.
guy, I was
That movie is terrible to watch now.
I kind of
But
like
when
that
I was
movie, but,
that
yeah.
came out when I was like, wow, what year did the Rocketeer?
90,
90?
something like that. Yeah.
So that's
I was like 10.
that's
Yeah.
post Labyrinth. What's her face?
Jennifer Connelly.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Connelly. She was probably in her 20s.
it was like 1990,
So
91.
she's a few years older than
Yeah.
us.
But that dude, I was outside.
Well, she's probably like 10 years older than us, isn't she?
She's like 50 or something.
Yeah.
Is she 50?
Yeah, she's up there. She don't look it.
1991. I saw that shit in the theaters.
Yeah, so did
I
I.
was like 9.
Yeah. But I was outside smoking a cigarette, and I just happened to, and you kind of keep it on, but I didn't have the scarf on because that thing just restricts your breathing. So I'm smoking a cigarette, and I'm looking around, and I'm just seeing like Joker, Harley Quinn, It, and then women dressed as It, and you're like, that's a weird flex. Let me see what I can do with that. And then all of a sudden I saw this guy as the Rocketeer, and I went, bro.
Yes.
So I walk up, and I'm like, dude, you are the only other person here that has a unique costume. And he's like, you're the Shadow, aren't you? I went, yes. And he goes, this is awesome. Let's get some pictures. So we started taking some pictures, and I kind of did the Shadow thing. I took the guns out and everything.
Yeah.
That's another side story, by the way. Don't bring realistic-looking guns to
No, they
Comic-Con.
get a little mad. Well, there have been a couple of years where it's been no props.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's been times.
LA Comic-Con, it was because it was right after the shooting. That couple that shot up, it was like a mass shooting.
Oh.
Yeah, there was that couple that shot up wherever. I don't remember. There's so fucking many of them now.
Yeah.
But right after that, it was no prop weapons whatsoever. Even if it was a giant plastic sword, you were not allowed to bring it into Comic-Con.
Yeah. So they made me.
So there was all these pictures of people posing like this with no gun.
Yeah. Yeah. They made me stuff this like orange Play-Doh in the barrels that's like dried up immediately. And I went, yeah, that's fine, because I made the mistake of taking these very lavishly looking colored guns that were like this blue color and spray painting them black to make them almost realistic. And I went, yeah, I can kind of get behind your logic. So yeah, that's fine.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I'm
Were
an
you
idiot.
Also, this was in New York, too,
It was in
right?
New York. I'm
Yeah.
wearing double
It's
shoulder
probably,
holsters.
It's probably actually illegal for you to be walking around with those.
Oh, I had them in a backpack. I
Yeah.
didn't come dressed as it. Like I wasn't walking around the street. I put everything in a backpack because I was smart, because I was very Columbine reminiscent at that point in time.
Yeah.
So the shoulder holsters, the gun, the hat, everything was all in the backpack. I just wore the trench coat, and then as soon as I got there, I just put everything on, and that's, when you did your thing. But it was kind of ironic that they let me in with the fake guns, but then when they rifled through my bag, they saw the pot, and they just let me go through.
Yeah, like everybody here is high, dude.
I had like 3 different kinds of marijuana in my bag of edibles, vape, and flour, and the guy's like, "Have a good time," and I went, "Yay!" So I'm popping a few gummies, and then I'm like, "All right, this ain't working." Popping a few more. No, this ain't working. Popping a few more. Oh, now it's kicked in.
Yeah. You made, what was that Nick Swartzen fucking?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I don't feel nothing. I
ha-
don't feel nothing.
I'm
I
having
don't feel nothing.
I'm having a bitchin' time. I had a couple people run up to me like, "Can I get your picture?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Oh fuck, I got guns. I bumped into a couple interesting people. I actually literally bumped into Sam Raimi.
Oh,
That's awesome.
He was
oh
doing
yeah,
a-
I saw that. Yeah,
he was doing a
yeah,
panel, and it's only like 30 minutes long or something. So towards the tail end, I wanted to go see if I can get like some autographs and whatnot. So I started walking away, and there's an exit right where I was. I didn't pay attention. I'm kind of just like looking over here at some. I think it was like a cosplayer or something, some hot chick. And the next thing I know, I got a little bump on my shoulder, and I was about to kind of do one of those, "Yo, fuckwad, what did you do?" And then I realized it him, and I went.
Sam Raimi touched my shoulder.
I was like, I didn't have time to take the phone out. I didn't have time, I was like, "Can I just shake your hand?" And he's like, "Yes, thank you." And he kind of goes like, "Shout him, awesome." And I went, "Done,
I'm done. I'm gonna go commit suicide.
done." I was like, my day's made. I'm gonna go have a cigarette now and pass out of joy.
Sam Raimi, the director of
Spider-Man, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead.
Brooks' favorite movie is The Evil Dead.
Evil Dead, yeah. Yeah, he did Return to Oz or something like that. Yeah, Return to Oz.
Yeah, yeah.
And a whole bunch of other stuff. He's been cameoed and everything, but just having him bump into me and me shaking his hand, I was like, this is amazing. Like that's my day's made.
I learned at the I went to Drag Con.
Oh yeah, I was
Javits.
almost tempted to go to that, but things fell through.
I learned something about conventions, and there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you just got to pick what kind of stuff you're into.
Mm-hmm.
So for the Drag Con, a lot of the stuff wasn't what I was into. If you know what I mean.
Were there bronies?
There was all kinds of weird shit,
Yeah.
but like a good 50% of the weird shit was gay shit. And I
Yeah.
was like, that's cool for everybody
But
here.
my wife's here, so I
Yeah, but like she's literally like, "Why are you looking at that?" And
no.
so, but we signed up for a bunch of panels.
Yeah.
Or got in line for a bunch of panels, and that shit was incredibly entertaining.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoyed the most.
The
So,
panels
like,
are awesome.
I'm gonna
know
make
about
it to a
Drag
Comic-Con eventually, and I'd like to, of course, do the cosplay thing because we usually do a pretty decent job. I thought my makeup, our makeup on Saturday looked on point, and Thursday. Thursday, she was Samara from The Ring.
Oh
And
yeah, that's right. That was awesome.
Oy,
You
we scared the shit out of some people.
You were all over the place on Saturday, but I saw that and I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Oh no!
It's
She
a-
was the bride.
Oh no, she was a bride on Saturday, but I
Yeah.
saw the video on Halloween where I was looking at it like, what is she doing? I couldn't quite put 2 and 2 together because I realized I hate the fucking Ring.
I love the first one.
No, the Ring it's one of those movies. It's like one of those movies where it doesn't. It's like almost like comical. It's that scary. That movie just freaks me the fuck out. There's only a few movies that scare the shit out of me. That's one.
That's one of the few
Yeah.
that I had trouble sleeping over.
Yep.
Yeah.
For we were fucked up. We were
You did a
fucked
good
up
job.
about that for like a week, so a couple weeks. Like we rented the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
I remember from like Blockbuster Video, and it
I
had
miss
like
Blockbuster.
it'd come out. It was just on DVD,
Yeah.
and we were like, "Oh, this is cool. Let's check this out." I hear this is really fucking scary.
Yeah.
There was a part we watched it. We were fucking terrified, and there was the end. At the end of the movie, we're just like kind of sitting there on the couch, like let's turn all the lights on in our basement apartment.
Unplug the phones.
Yeah, there's only 3 lights in this entire apartment, but let's turn them all on. Bathroom too, and then it goes back to the main screen for the DVD, and it had like bonus features.
Oh.
but it didn't say like bonus features and outtakes. It was like do not click this.
Oh.
And the other one,
And of course,
or,
you're like an
it
idiot.
said, do not watch this. And there was another one which was, and it just said The Ring, or not The Ring. It said there was movie and then the movie. And like the in parentheses.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
And it
That's
was
bad.
the actual like video that they were
Yeah,
watching throughout the movie, and you like. We were afraid to click on that shit. I'm like, I don't want to click on this because we might die. That movie fucked a lot of people up,
I
man.
watched that movie. It was on like pay-per-view though, but I was by myself. I was still living at home.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was still living at home, and so this is like before. When did that come out?
2000, 2001.
Yeah, so it was
something like
probably
that.
right after he graduated, maybe that summer.
That was when I was deep in film school, so I'm watching this going like I watched it.
2002.
Yeah,
Okay.
I watched it.
Yeah, so I was still
deep
home.
in that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is amazing, this is awesome, and I'm scared to death of this movie.
Just as a horror movie.
Yeah.
Shot. As a horror movie, it was fucking scary. As a thriller, you couldn't take your eyes off the goddamn
No, not one
screen.
minute.
The first
It
the
was-
first girl that dies in the movie in the
Oh, and her
closet.
head rocks over.
Yeah, I got up and I like fucking left the room.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Checked all your closet.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I
made sure the front door was locked.
There's also this movie that I watched as a kid. It's called Cameron's Closet. Late
That sounds
Where what was it called?
Cameron's Closet.
That sounds horrifying in a different
Mid
way.
'80s movie, and it's about this kid that has like
It's Kirk Cameron.
Yeah.
He hides in people's closets.
yeah.
And while they're sleeping, he
No, I was
jumps out and
thinking-
reads Bible
No,
verses.
I was thinking more like Kirk Cameron's actual closet. It's just
No.
like one shelf's all the God stuff and the other shelf's all the kiddie porn.
No, I was unfortunately I'm the baby of my family, so I was unfortunately subjected to a lot of fucked up horror movies at a very young age. Like Poltergeist was one of the first movies I can actually remember watching. That's how. Yeah. Oh, I can't watch that movie at all.
Poltergeist is a motherfucker. I watch that to this day. I've seen that movie probably a dozen
Nope.
times, maybe more. I still get fucking scared. of
I
that
can't
movie
watch.
today.
That's one of the first movies I watched. That one of the first horror movies I watched. That in this movie called The Gate, which was
the fucking gate,
yeah.
the one with the
with the records playing backward. Yeah.
yeah.
But there's
in
a
the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a movie called Cameron's Closet that is stuck in my head. It's about this little kid that has like ESP, like he could like bend spoons, move marbles, all that shit. And for some, and like I said, I only watched this once, but it's stuck. For some reason, his ESP summoned a demon from another dimension that was in his closet, and these people would go into his closet and not come out. They would die. But they would only find the bodies, so they thought the kid was killing all these people, right? And since then, to this day, I cannot sleep in a room with the closet door open. No.
Brooke doesn't like it either.
To this day, like,
I don't give a shit.
like there was times I'm sleeping at someone's house, and she's like, "Oh, good night, have a good night, sweetheart," and I'm like, "Close the fucking closet." Like, no, we ain't doing this. No.
Insidious is what fucked me up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, with the yeah.
Yes. I can't, and it's just all goes back to being, the kid where you just remember that and you have like a bad image, a bad memory, and all that shit.
Well, you guys remember I have night terrors, right?
Oh yeah. That's
So
one of my favorite things
a,
about you.
a lot of times I'll wake up and like Amy's closet. Amy's very neat, so I'm not trying to say that she's not. But like one thing is like her closet for a long time was so like full that she had some stuff like hanging on either side of the doorknob. So you couldn't like close the door, so that it would be open just slightly, and there'd be stuff hanging on like the corner of the door
Oh, no.
and stuff hanging on the doorknob, and that was always a sinister, horrifying person.
Yeah, because you
when I
wake up
would
at 3 in the
up.
morning and you see a fucking floating apparition right in front of you. Yeah.
So I had to stop. I had to stop like hanging sweatshirts and stuff for a while. It's gotten better actually now that I think about it. I haven't had one in a while.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, I used to just wake up, and it would be for a full like to me it would seem like a long time, where I would almost be like frozen with fear, and I'd be like seeing something and just convinced that it's real. Like it's amazing.
Your mind plays
Yeah.
weird tricks on
And
you.
then
when you're not
sometimes she'll wake up and see me like.
Yeah. So
And I mean, those are the not bad ones. The bad ones are when I like drag her out of bed because I think the house is falling down around us. That's happened 5 or 6 times.
no shit. So you had like that Step Brothers kind of moment where you're like putting the pillows in the oven and throwing the Christmas tree on the bed.
The clown has no penis.
No, I shouldn't joke about that because I know somebody that does have night terrors, and it's woken me up. Like she flat out. There were times, names will not be mentioned, but there are times where I've had hands and arms just hit me in the middle of the night, and I'm hearing, and I wake up from a dead sleep, and I'm hearing, ah! And I'm like, oh, like I'm like,
out.
I'm like, the fuck? And then I look over, and she wakes up. She's like, what happened? And I went, you just hit me, like, full on, pimp slapped me in the middle of the night. She goes, oh, it happens. I have night terrors. I'm like,
yeah, it's happened to me a couple of times.
Just chalk that up to the cons list, basically.
I got scared one time awake. Like
this one time, I had a bad dream.
I had. I was
Poor
no.
you.
It was like a. I guess I can relate because it was like a tornado of things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
We were at the old apartment, which was just the old apartment, where it was like a basement apartment. It was a studio that we kind of
Partitioned
ourselves, and we didn't have a dishwasher, so we used to wash our dishes and stack them next to the sink, right? I woke up in the middle of the night in the dark with something scared me awake. And I when I woke up, I saw this fucking furry something or other on me. So I jumped up, I freaked out, I started screaming. Not like woo, woo! It was like woo, like real real fucking terror.
Yeah.
Instead of reaching for the light that was 6 inches to my left, I ran across the fucking studio apartment into the back room and turned on the light.
Oh.
And the entire time, she's screaming, "What? What? What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I jump up, and I just start once all the once I realized it was all something.
Meanwhile, you were probably naked, right?
I had like shorts on or underwear on. That's it.
Oh man!
And I'm just standing there, and I just buckle over. I'm shaking and stuff like that. I'm like, something scared. And I realized the furry fucking thing that was on top of me was my cat.
Oh,
it was my cat Grover, Brooke's cat, but our cat Grover.
Asshole.
That
cats.
was just happened to be stretching. He doing that fucking arch back thing.
Yeah.
At the wrong fucking time.
But you wake up when it's half arched, its eyes are just locked onto you.
Well,
so
I
you just
didn't
see yellow
that.
fucking eyes.
I just
or
saw
something.
this fur silhouetted against the nightlight or whatever light from electronics or whatever were on. I just saw the fur silhouetted against that,
yeah.
so it scared the shit out of me. So I'm trying to calm down. I look at the sink. All of the clean dishes were in it.
Oh,
so
you
the
knocked
fucking giant tower of hand washed dishes that if you've been in places that haven't had dishwashers.
Every single place I've ever lived except for the house that I have now.
The dish pile gets 2 feet high. You balance the fucking glass
Yep.
or whatever on
I'm
top
just
of the
like,
pot.
well, this has got to soak. So when this is done soaking,
Yeah.
I'll do this pile, but I need the sink for this pot to soak for the next 3 to 6 days.
Well, that pile gave way in the middle of the night and dumped into the steel sink.
Oh, and that's like 100 decibels of clamoring and cling clang.
So
right
it
there.
woke. So that perfect storm of shit woke me up and scared the fucking piss out of me. So now, when he tells me about his night terrors, I understand the fear aspect, but I don't understand the paralytic thing that happens.
No, it's I've had those moments where I would wake up and I still can't move, and I would think an alien has paralyzed me or something, and you're still in that half REM sleep, so you're almost, your imagination is running wild. So when you wake up but you can't really move and you're not quite sure what's going on, and any type of movement, whether or air movement or noise or anything, you think something's coming after you. So I keep, there's times where I thought aliens were dissecting me and I just couldn't move, I was paralyzed, and then I just woke up and I went, oh shit, all right, that's good. But yeah, I've had
That's what happened.
It's repressed memory.
It probably is because
the alien was an uncle.
there
or a close family friend.
There's
I was thinking actual aliens.
There's not many people that know this, but I actually, for a short period of time in my life, lived in Pine Bush in the 80s.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
And that's when they were at their peak. Right?
Yeah.
The
So
sightings.
thankfully, I don't live there anymore, and I stay the fuck away from that area. But no, I'm not doing. Yeah.
Our good friend Tony O'Dell from Hudson Valley Legends did a big thing about the Pine Bush abductions and alien sightings, and she interviewed some people over there.
Mm-hmm.
It was really interesting.
They have Alien Fest every year. I've been trying to go, and every time I want to go, and I'm with like a significant other, and they kind of be like, "Aliens are bullshit. It's fake," and I'm like, "You need to go away now."
Brooke, we need to go to Alien Fest in Pine Bush.
Yeah, no,
When is that?
It's like in the summer.
We got to go to that.
I
have to go to
It's
that.
usually I was in the Pine Bush area on my birthday, not this year, but the year before, because I went for a hike.
And when is that?
July.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. and
Happy belated.
And driving through Pine Bush, you just see everything alien-esque. Like there's little blow-up aliens, and they sell aliens and shit. It's like little Area 51 almost,
I want to go.
or whatever that town is.
I want to
near-
go. I want to meet all the people that
Yeah,
were
they have
abducted.
They have costume contests. They have panels. There's a guy named Bob Lazar. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, Bob Lazar. He's the guy who.
He was on Rogan recently.
Yeah,
He was like
he was the Storm Area 51
He's the
guy.
Area 51 whistleblower
I don't
of
think
the 80s.
he was that guy.
He wasn't the guy, but it started the whole thing.
He showed up
Yeah.
at one point one year. Like it's a big thing, and it
That
attracts
surprises
a lot of
me
people.
because he really doesn't like to talk about all that stuff.
And now
anymore.
he's getting notoriety again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember.
Well, it's because
reading-
there was a Netflix. It's called Bob Lazar in Area 51 or
Yeah,
something like
something
that.
like-
It's fantastic. And
Yeah.
you listen to this guy talk, I'm like, I don't know if he's telling the truth, but he's not insane and he believes it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, he's not full of shit.
Well,
and
he
you can
was-
tell people that are full of shit. This guy's like, well, just okay. So this is what happened. That's how he talks.
Yeah.
And he's very reluctant to keep telling the story. He's like, this is all on the record. Like, you can just look this stuff up. And it's fucking crazy. You
There
should
was,
listen to the Rogan interview and you should watch the documentary because it'll really make you think like, well, maybe he's wrong about some of it. But he also said, he was like, so this is stuff that they gave me. He's like, sometimes they give you stuff that's bullshit to see if you're leaking.
Mm-hmm.
So they give you things. Like, okay, so if such and such happens, we call it a code yellow, right? And then if that leaks to the press, and they said when this happens, they call it a code yellow. Now they know you're the leak.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
fuck.
So
Okay,
it's a pretty common practice. So he's like, I can't really believe all the information that they gave me, but I've seen these crafts flying around.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
There was
That I
one-
know is true. He's like, I've been inside them, and you just after listening to him for 3 fucking hours, I completely believe that he saw something, and maybe certain things are conflated in his mind, but I mean, they've got something, and they might be saying, "Oh, we got it from aliens." Or maybe
Yeah.
from another country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There
Like they might
was-
be saying it's aliens so that nobody will believe him. But I mean the shit that he talked like I believe he believes what he said.
Yeah. There was an interview he did in the 80s. It was like Unsolved Mysteries type of deal.
Mhm.
I think it was actually Unsolved Mysteries. And he was talking about, all the alien craft and all that crap. And then there was one thing he discussed, and I actually saw it on YouTube months ago. I can't remember when. But he was talking about the security measures in Area 51
Yep.
in the 80s, like the
Yeah.
mid-early 80s.
Yeah, and everybody said it was bullshit, and then
he
they
said,
found one.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
like, and there's this machine where you put your hand on this
Are you listening to this,
panel.
Bosh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you put your hand on this panel, and then a camera comes out and looks at you directly at your face, and that's how you get in because it distinguishes your vein structure and
Yeah, it was
your-
measuring-
your
it was-
retinas and all that stuff.
It
And this
was-
was in the early
It was
80s.
a low grade X-ray machine.
Yeah.
That was measuring the length of the bones in your hand.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The combination of all of the lengths of all of those bones, plus it was taking a picture of you while you did it.
Yeah.
So that they knew it wasn't some dude with your severed fucking hand.
Yeah.
And they said, this is complete bullshit.
Bullshit.
That technology
Folky-
doesn't
bull-
exist.
yeah.
That's not how we do things. And then about 10 years later, one of those machines turned up.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And as it turns out, top secret military bases all through the 80s, that was standard procedure because a key card could be stolen, but they can't steal your hand.
Yeah. So all this shit in the 80s.
Before biometric fingerprint stuff, they were using X-rays with a pretty sophisticated computer to measure the length of all of the bones in your hand to make sure that it was you. So that part was completely debunked or by the government. They said that's complete bullshit. We don't do that.
Yeah.
It's science fiction. He's a fucking idiot. He never actually even worked there. Then 10 years later, they're like, yeah, well, this is it. This is the thing he was talking about.
That's the thing. Like, I think about these conspiracy theorists and all that stuff. And then this kind of stuff happens. And like that scanning technology and all that stuff, I'm like, yeah, there's people out there way smarter than you, way ahead of your curve.
Yeah.
So,
this brings up a nice question I wanted to ask you guys.
Wait, are we going to move on?
I'm really enjoying
I just want to talk about one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he said that these craft were powered by something called element 115.
Yeah.
Which is a theoretical element at the time.
It's like adamantium or something.
Yeah, they just, it was a theoretical element. Never been synthesized. They just thought that it was potentially possible. Stop playing with your food. Are you going to eat that?
Stop playing with your brains.
There's the whole brain here that you can eat. Don't
give
eat
it to
that.
Alistair.
So this element 115, like almost decades after he said, yeah, this is what they used, they were able to synthesize it. It was proven to be a reality.
How fucked up is that?
So he's talking about a theoretical element that almost no one knew anything about. Nobody even heard of it.
Yeah.
And saying this is how it was powered. And then they're very close to synthesizing a stable version of it. So, like in Iron Man when he makes a new element.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same idea. It's going to be some sort of element that can be used to create massive amounts of energy. But the problem is that we can't, it's not stable. It degrades in milliseconds right now. But alien technology, he's like
the lobbyists.
But I mean, imagine if you just lived on a planet where this shit was just laying around.
Yeah, where energy was just laying around.
Yeah, imagine you lived on a planet where that shit was just laying around. Like, you know what
You
we
could
have to do? You
I
know
would
what we have to
harness it.
You know what we have to do for plutonium? Like, that's the reason why everything isn't nuclear powered.
You have to rob Libyans.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Libyans! This brings me back to my other question. Why? Why am I the residential aforementioned authority on temporal astrophysics and game theory? Like, whenever you guys want to talk about time travel, I'm the guy that always gets contacted.
Because you always know movies.
Yeah,
Nobody
but
else has seen movies.
No, but here's
isn't
the thing,
Kip
like-
Thorne available or something, or somebody from Caltech? Like, you're talking to a guy that does way too many drugs.
But
It's
here's
just 'cause it's
but
movies.
but the thing
Yeah.
is, it's like
We're
it's
talking
like,
about movies.
You're the type of person who sees.
I wish we all
time.
saw the new Terminator movies. We
yeah,
could
still
talk about
haven't.
that.
Sorry,
I
didn't have time.
You're a person that sees a time travel movie or like a science fiction movie and goes, "Huh." It's at least it seems to me. I don't know if this is true, but you and Adam are the type of people who would look it up and see if it's possible, and then probably spiral down the rabbit hole of if it could be possible, if it's not,
Yeah.
and if it could be possible, how far are we to making it possible? Like all that kind of crap. That's why we
Yeah.
come to you for that, because I feel like
And
you're
you
that guy.
look at it in the same way that I do, where it's just like the things that I like to think about are like Back to the Future. He leaves the girlfriend on the porch, right? And then goes back in time. Now
He comes back and it's a completely different woman.
Timeline theory, she's not the same person. That girl is still sitting there. Once you travel back in time using the Back to the Future theorem,
Yeah.
once you travel back in time, you fucking never come back. A different version of you might from an alternate timeline in another dimension. That's how it works. Or there's the single stream, whereas every person that travels back in time fucks everything up.
Yeah,
And they're
like
the
in
only one
that,
that remembers it.
The
Yeah.
Show.
That show we were watching with Tiger and Wolf.
Oh, fucking
What?
Future Man on Hulu.
Oh, that show looks
that
really stupid.
movie or that show rules. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
You haven't watched it?
No.
You gotta watch it.
There's,
it's
uh,
fucking hilarious. That
there's,
kid from Hunger Games, whatever the hell his nuts
I've seen the
is,
previews and
PETA,
stuff. I just haven't watched
that
it.
guy has found his niche. He is
No
a funny
kidding.
motherfucker.
There's-
He's really good at comedy.
There was something you just brought up, and it actually reminded me. There's a movie. What's his name? Ken Burns or something Burns. He made a movie about time travel with Ben Kingsley years ago.
Okay, well, Ken Burns is like the documentary filmmaker. He does a lot of like Civil War stuff.
This
and
was the I can't remember his
there's
name.
there's the Ken Burns effect is named after him.
Oh, so it wasn't him.
Yeah.
Something Burns. I remember that. He did a movie with Ben Kingsley. I think it was called like The Sound of Thunder, which is the movie sucked. It was absolutely god awful, horrible.
Yeah, The Sound of Thunder.
Yeah, Sound of Thunder. It got
2005.
horrible ratings. The CGI sucked. Everything. But the theory was you go back in time and you. I think what they did was they killed an animal in when they went back in time.
Aw.
They killed an animal when they went back in time, and then they
Simpsons did it.
yeah they returned to the present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a butterfly effect where everything changed. And then they tried going back in time again, and it just kind of like, to try to fix it, but it just kind of like spiraled out of control. And towards the end of the movie, instead of humans, they were like lizard people or something. And that in my yeah. And in my theory, that in my opinion, that is time travel in essence. Like you go back in time and you mess something minute up, and everything changes.
Yeah, but you might also, but it might also be that nothing changes. But
That's
it's all
also-
about your perception. But you'll never know. So it's the dual reality kind of thing. Where do you continue to stay in the same stream of time, or are there multiple timelines? Multiple
The Marvel
dimensions?
universe where it's
Yes.
like
So-
Marvel 616.
So if you go
and all
back,
this other
you
stuff.
step on something, you go forward, you've just split everything.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
but in the Marvel version, you're not going back in time. You're traveling to a different dimension because you can't actually change the past, because if you change the past, you never would have gone back to change it in the first place.
Yeah, you just go into a
That-
different
yeah.
reality, a different dimension in Marvel's world.
That's like the time travel part of string theory
Yeah.
that is the only bit that I understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, they go back. They could totally fuck up that timeline or whatever in that dimension, but you can't actually go back within your own because it creates a paradox.
Yeah.
Which would undo it immediately.
But do you see what I mean? Like,
Whereas
you two
Back to the-
fucking
Back to the
figure this
Future-
shit out. Like me, I'm like, you're gonna leave here tonight, and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with those two?
Meanwhile, I'm gonna go home.
I don't even do drugs.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm gonna go home, smoke a joint, watch YouTube for about 2 hours, and pass out, and not have dreams or night terrors. This is the shit that's in my head normally, where it's just like a regular occurrence, so it doesn't actually faze me anymore. It's not like and then I'll wake up and be like, "Huh, I wonder why they call it a kiwi."
It's such a, but it's such a weird thing because that there's. If it's possible to test it, do you want to test it? Do you want to test time
absolutely,
travel?
absolutely.
I'd want to
have
travel
no-
to the future first,
Yeah.
just to make sure everything kind of worked.
No, I want to go in the past and beat people up.
You see,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I just,
Gandhi,
No.
and beat the shit out of him. Frail.
I
that
gotta-
could be a warm-up fight.
I got a list. I got a few other people higher up on the list than Gandhi at this point in time. One of my former bosses, I would definitely enjoy doing that too.
I mean, like everybody always has that fantasy of, God, I wish I could just go back to 2 days ago and not have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, or just like stupid shit. Like if I had just looked left twice, I wouldn't have gotten into that car accident.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't really, I don't feel it's possible.
No,
I don't.
I feel
you know, it just
yeah.
like my gut.
Yeah.
You know, I don't feel like it's really possible because it just seems to kind of
Going
I think
forward makes sense, but it's
going forward,
going
I thi-
forward in a like
going forward. The only way that it's gonna well
put
going
yourself into
going
like a
forward.
stasis.
No, going forward
way.
is theoretically possible because of gravity.
Yeah.
Going backwards not possible.
Yeah, they're
I mean, as far as
well,
the theory
if
of relativity goes.
Superman, what was it? Superman 3.
Spins the world
Superman 2.
backwards and would instantly incinerate
Yeah.
the entire fucking planet.
Superman 1. Yeah.
if the world started to turn backwards, do you realize you'd fly off the ground
Yeah.
at 6,000 feet per second?
Was
That
that
was
Superman
Superman?
That was the first,
one.
Superman?
Yeah.
That's why Superman 2 was so much better.
Yeah, there are days
Superman
where
2 is the only good one. They're all terrible. Other than that.
there are literally.
Oh, there you
not
go.
Not a day goes
There you
by.
go. Superman's a time travel movie too. Got to add that to the list.
That's like saying Die Hard's a Christmas movie. But,
It is.
No, he said it is not.
Then A Christmas Story is not a fucking Christmas movie either because it has nothing to do with Christmas. It just takes place around Christmas.
Fudge. But there's not
The majority of the movie is not on Christmas. If you want to make the argument that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, then A Christmas Story is not a Christmas movie either.
All I'm saying is the only reason
Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie.
There you go.
The only reason why they're robbing Nakatomi
Yeah.
Towers is because it's Christmas.
Yeah,
it's, a
it's
Christmas
because
party.
it's during a Christmas party.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about another burglary? Apparently, there were a few home invasions on Vassar campus.
Oh yeah, I heard about
On
this. That was on
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, Amy just sent this to me. So Vassar burglary.
Well, we're in the clear.
One of several reports of unknown individuals entering references.
What?
Remember our door handle jiggled that night.
What?
Halloween.
Wait, well, go with the story. Now I'm curious.
You don't remember it happening?
No, I do.
Okay,
You
so
better get that fucking axe out.
Vassar college students were robbed of watches, earbuds, and cash in the reported burglary on campus after midnight on Halloween night. 3 other incidents which students reported finding strangers in their housing. According to college, which shared additional details on Monday regarding the burglary under investigation with the town of Poughkeepsie police. 2 male intruders entered one of the units in Vassar's townhouse residences at 2 a.m. Friday.
Are those the
So-
ones on Raymond Avenue?
Could be. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think that is.
Yeah,
be.
because there's all townhouses up along that street,
Yeah.
and that's all
Yeah.
housing.
Yeah. They bound the students inside and searched the house, according to Vassar's
Oh, they did
Safety
some
and
fucked up
Security
shit.
Department, which said the door to the townhouse was unlocked. One of the men was reported as having a gun. This is the first time I'm reading this, by the way. After intruders left the home, the students ran outside and flagged down safety and security vehicle that was driving through the area, according to a release. This is probably on campus, not off campus housing.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's fucked up, but it's Poughkeepsie.
Also, just
Yeah.
okay. So everybody, go get. We have a thing. It's called a night lock, right?
Mhm.
Our front door has a glass window. It
Yeah.
would not be hard to smash it and unlock the door. It
Yeah.
just wouldn't. This thing is $40. It bolts to your floor, and it's just a piece of metal that slides in there. You would need a fucking battering ram.
Oh, those things
Because
where it's like this,
there is
right? It's
there
like
is
up against the
no.
door,
It's
or is
it's
it
so
a-
there's a plate. It's a milled aluminum plate
Mhm.
that goes like bolts to the floor with a huge lag bolt into the hardwood. And then this thing, it's just give me a second.
I
I'll
think
just pull it up.
I have an idea of what you're talking about. I thought it was that thing where it's kind of like it's up against the door like this, but now I think I know.
No, it
what-
kind of goes like this.
Yeah. I've seen
So
those.
here, I'm gonna
The Halloween night, we're like,
here. Can you pull me up over here? Sure.
we're trying to chill the fuck out.
Mhm.
Was it Halloween night?
It was either Thursday night or Friday night. I
It
don't
was either Thursday night or Friday night. I can't
Yeah.
remember which. But we're sitting there.
So this thing bolts
Oh,
to the
yeah.
floor.
Oh, that's badass.
It
Right.
just looks like
And
like
then
an
this
angle
just
bracket.
and
that's all.
yeah, and then this just slides into it, and just like the physics of that, it can't bend and it cannot move out of the way.
Interesting.
There's no way that you can kick my front door down.
Yeah.
Just get one of these things.
Yeah.
They're fucking cheap. I think they're $40.
And it says campus safety shade on there. How ironic.
Oh,
See what that is.
what's a campus safety shade? Oh, it's
Oh,
blackout,
it's blackout fabric.
Oh,
So they
it's
can't
a curtain.
see you fucking or cooking.
It's a
meth.
blackout curtain. I have
No,
those.
this company specifically started making things like here. I'll pull up this one too. So
But anyway-
this is one. This is a door barricade. So this is for a door that opens out like a school door.
yeah.
So you just drop this thing in there. Nobody's ever fucking opening that door.
Nope.
Yeah. I've seen those. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
see?
put those on like.
Oh, look at that. That's
yeah.
cool.
So, but if you have a door that
School
opens
safety
in, you can
videos.
get the cheaper one. This one's more expensive.
So the night of it was either Halloween night or the following night.
Mhm.
We're sitting on the couch,
Halloween night.
and
There were some late kids, and we're like, oh,
we heard this kind of thud.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sound like someone tried to pull the door open. It's happened before, like our side door.
Mm-hmm.
Someone tried to pull the side door open. It's happened before when, like, Karina or whoever will stop by with the kid, and they'll pull on it and it'll be locked. It sounded like somebody pulled on. The dogs went off, like somebody was here. Both dogs. I looked at Brooke. I was like,
Yeah.
is that the door? I'd pop up. I turned the light, I turned the outside lights on. So if somebody was there, scare them away. But I didn't see anybody or anything like that. And there's this nook. There's this nook where you could hide if you pull on that door, and you can slide.
Oh, yeah, that's
you can
right,
Slide
yeah.
between the chimney.
Yeah.
And not see any and not be seen. So I kind of poked my head over the window and took a look at there. Nothing. I didn't see nothing. But that's fucking creepy, man.
Yeah, there's people that are testing out everything. They'll go house to house and be like, "Oh, the door's locked. Next one, door's locked. Next." It's a numbers game.
So I'm glad I
You
have
go
dogs,
through 50
man.
houses in a night. One's open. You won.
Eisen makes such a fucking fuss when people come over, and we always freak out because it's stressful for us when he's losing his mind over someone we know. But there's situations like that where you're like, I'm glad he's a fucking psycho.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, it is annoying, and Buckley's the same way. Clint doesn't really bark unless the new dog.
Alistair.
He doesn't really bark unless Buckley gets him going. But I'm also it doesn't unless you have a really yippy dog, it's gonna be a deterrent. Because if you're gonna go, well, I'm just gonna break into the house that doesn't have a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mine.
Or I'm not. Yeah. No one's gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna break in. I don't care that there's a dog there.
Oh, then you better. Then
everyone should get one of those.
Then you better get a couple
they're
axes
cheap.
and baseball bats and put them near the door and stuff like that. Tell people, oh, it's my Negan bat.
Well, there's
I mean, people wonder why I have a gun. That's why I have a gun.
Yeah.
Because this shit does happen. It's very unlikely, but it does fucking happen.
Well, that's for Poughkeepsie especially.
Yeah.
For the south side of Poughkeepsie is the more affluent kind of friggin' neighborhood.
Yeah,
compared.
but do you remember?
So you go
But
blocks
it's
that
usually
way. Yeah.
it's usually the target of robberies and everything. We hear about it all the time. We get constant updates.
Do you remember when 2 weeks after I moved out of that College Avenue apartment, there was a shooting next door.
Oh yeah,
drug-related robbery and shooting.
that shit happened all
at
the time.
the exact time I would have been taking my dog out in the morning.
Brooke and I were
Oh,
sitting.
yeah.
Brooke and I were sitting on the couch one summer, just with the doors open in the old apartment. We heard pop, pop, pop out back. I run out to the deck to see what the fuck, and I just see this kid running across the street, through the
That was
through my
probably
neighbor's
it.
yard, through the yard. And
That was
everything like
that was probably the incident, the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
'Cause
I don't know if you guys were still where you were.
What time of the day was that?
This was night.
Oh, then this wasn't it. This
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
the one that I'm
7 or 8.
talking about
Yeah.
was
No, it was dark. So it was
So it was probably 8 or 9. Okay.
Dude, I
the
used
one
to
that
work for
the one that
City
I'm
Council.
talking about. This was
Or in City Council.
definitely somebody who was trying to rob a drug dealer, and the story that I got. I don't think they ever caught the guy, but somebody got shot at the house. So if you're sitting on my old front porch, the house to your right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a bunch of apartments too.
Yeah.
And apparently this guy came up to the house and he was wearing an ill-fitting suit. That was what the person who answered the door said.
Ill-fitting, like baggy or tight?
Off the rack or borrowed from somebody.
Yeah.
And he said, I need to speak to whoever lives in this apartment. She's like, why? I guess this was his girlfriend. And he pulled out a gun, pushed her out of the way, and shot at the guy and shot him 3 times with a .22.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's not
they
good.
think that I guess the story was there were drugs in the house. So the guy that he shot was
Delicious
probably
drugs.
a drug dealer, and he was trying to rob him, and he didn't want to shoot the girl. Wasn't maybe not expecting her to be there. I don't know, but
Nice.
that happens. That was at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Dude,
on a weekday.
I used to be a dispatcher for an ambulance company, and it's either it's not those 3 in the afternoon type things where you get shootings. It's 4 or 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, or like 7, 8 o'clock at night. It's like those 2 times. That's when the shit goes down. It's
or
not
first gets dark, or when it's like
exactly.
right when everybody's like solid
Super
asleep.
tuned
or,
up or tuned up.
Yeah, there were days
Yeah.
I would go to work. I would
Yeah.
go to work. I'd be at work at 6:30 at night because I worked overnights back then. And as soon as I walked in the door, punched in, I'd get boop 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 boop. The tones alert would go off and shooting intersection of Main and White Street, and you're like, I work on White Street. Oh shit!
Oh, it's right over there. At least we're close.
Yeah, and then I'm kind of looking out, and there's giant windows to Main Street and White Street, and you're going, oh, I could see this from here, and they can see me. Oh, fuck! Turn the lights off, kind of duck down while still trying to do my job. Yeah, but that's the city of Poughkeepsie. It's like a regular occurrence. It's normal.
Yeah.
I'm kind of used to it, to be honest. Like I've dealt.
There's very rare. It's like random crime.
This is also a bigger thing.
Yeah, random random crime.
Random crimes.
Like you're not just gonna walk down the street and get shot.
No,
that doesn't happen.
No, you'll get jacked.
Yeah,
but you won't get shot.
You want to take a break? I got to pee too.
Yeah, now's a good time for.
I
my biggest.
I got to urinate. Anyway.
Yeah, my biggest thing is like the home invasion stuff. Like that's what really worries me. It's never gonna happen to me at 2 a.m. because I have that night lock there.
Yeah.
The guy's gonna bust the window, unlock the door, and then try and get in, and he's not going to be able to.
Yeah.
My next thing for sure is I want to put a steel security door to the downstairs apartment, so if they go after the Airbnb people, they can't get to me.
Do that.
Every man for himself.
But I would.
Your rating's going to go down, man.
I'm just like,
I'm gonna give you 2 stars. Really nice place, but he let a
But
robber.
I died.
But I was killed.
He
in
let
robbery.
this guy rob and rape us, but we left him a tip anyway.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just I
He's
know
got a
that shit's not
hairdryer,
gonna happen.
though.
Like on occasion I'll forget to lock it or whatever, but at least the fucking odds are more with me than the Vassar students that live on a affluent campus that don't lock their doors.
They had no idea that shit was coming.
Yeah, exactly.
That sucks. I feel.
I spent many nights in
Bummer.
dorms. They leave the doors open at night. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they're kids. They don't know what the fuck
They
they're
don't
doing.
care. They leave their. I've spent a lot of nights in dorms years and years ago where the doors were unlocked because your buddies in the room next door or the apartment next door were just going to come over to have some beers, and then they just don't lock the door or something.
Yeah.
It's all communal on those. Like that's the way I can say it. It's a
But
communal
how you
thing.
shouldn't be able to get into the fucking building.
People figure out ways. Man.
Well, no, the problem with this is these are on the townhouses. This is like this. It's like an
Oh,
apartment.
so it's like the
complex.
main door. So they just walk.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the townhouse is like way in the back,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it's dark back there.
It looks. I mean, for those that don't know, it's not like a typical. They have dorms. They have typical dorms, but they also have townhouses, which I'm sure they pay a premium to be in. But it looks just like a condo complex.
This seems like not, if not well planned. Like somebody said, would be an easy fucking rip.
Yeah. From reading through the, just skimming it, they're not releasing all the information, but it sounds like people looking for money for drugs.
Sure.
It said it was an elderly gentleman was one of them, and one of them was a middle-aged woman.
All right, but think about this. Every May, it's no secret that Vassar students throw out all of their shit, and people come and pick at it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's like dumpster day or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
Every freaking May. So somebody could have been planning this for a while.
Do you think it was? Do you think it was Dave G?
Oh, that fucking guy! I've cut myself off from him.
I don't think so.
I
don't put him as a forward thinker.
I think Dave G was robbing people for vape juice. That's what I think.
But I will say,
This
passed
sounds
by
like
him
people
one day.
looking for AirPods they could sell to somebody for $20
for
to get drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dave G,
I mean, like breaking into a place and tying some people up.
that's
like,
some
that's
fucking aggressive
crazy.
shit, man. That's some
Yeah.
scary shit.
Yeah. I'd
But,
shit my pants. That's for sure.
Those kids are going to have to go to counseling.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I'm sure they already got counseling.
Yeah, they already have. They're already actively going to counseling.
They've already been in counseling.
Yeah, they've been in counseling since they've been 9.
Yeah.
His mom
Prescribed
and dad had a
Ativan.
fight, and their dog had to move to a farm at some point. They couldn't handle the loss.
Yeah. Separation anxiety.
right, well,
And they got to see their other doctor about, their meds maybe interacting.
That's what happens when you
Make them
take
more
Adderall and
stressed out.
Ativan.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's just a dealer's choice. What's going to happen? I don't know. Pass out or do math homework.
all right. Well,
Let's take a break.
I need to take a break in the worst way.
Yeah, I got to pee.
We're here with it's episode 231. I didn't mention that in the beginning. Yeah, we're here with
You tried to, I think.
Mr. Michael Bleakley, our resident time travel expert.
Yeah, apparently.
So yeah,
was another stoner not available?
Neil deGrasse Tyson is to Joe Rogan as Mike Bleakley is to the Dead Radio podcast. So here we go. That's what you have to live up to.
I'm just waiting for the days you guys call me and be like, I need your answer on this. I'm like, dude, I'm busy.
All right. How about everybody enjoy some Shadow Witch while we also all take a pee break?
Yeah.
You took it on to be someone, so wash your hands and go. Give a speech aloud and say that it's not your fault, 'cause you swear you I'll see if you can swallow. Somewhere in the back of every head, there is a shape that's dead. Draw it on a piece of paper, press it in a book for later to come across. And there's a tear to be shed. Legs like a trunk rooted in cement you poured. Go ahead and hide your spaded hands in your pockets before they see you. In a brilliant move of every starway, I'll cash a check and stay. In a year or 6 we'll flutter like bags of dust each summer. So duck your head and try to get through the workday. Legs like a trunk rooted in cement you poured. Go ahead and hide your spaded
Hey, this is Diego.
This is Taka.
This is Rick.
This is Mike from Hudson Valley Tattoo Company, and you're listening to Dead Radio Podcast.
Only took 25 minutes.
No, it took him 25 minutes.
All right.
That was a good vamp.
What's that?
That was a good segue in. I like that intro.
Our buddies over at Hudson Valley Tattoo Company gearing up for Harvesting Hope.
Oh, they're doing that. And
Harvesting Hope. They're actually they're going to be doing at Sloop Brewing. I'm not sure the date yet, but they're going to be doing it at Sloop Brewing Company so that they have more space.
It's huge
to accommodate the whole thing, and it's going to be like a big ass party.
Yeah, and like their tattoo festival they have at the Civic Center or whatever.
Yeah, and that's happening again in March, man. I got to link up with one of the guys they had last year. I want to like see if I can make an appointment with him if he comes back for this next one, because it's like absolutely something I wanted. His name is like James Travis, I believe his last name is, but
well, I got the best wallet I've ever owned there, so I can't plug the guy. It's been a while.
Yeah, I want to get a whole sleeve done on my arm of movie throughout the years genres. Like start old school, like Unchen Adalu, Metropolis.
Oh, okay.
Go
cool.
to like Citizen Kane, some
Metropolis.
some Chaplin in there. Go to like Citizen Kane and like the 40s and 50s, Vertigo and stuff like that. 70s. There's some good ones.
You might need bigger arms, man.
No, it's gonna
be like a back piece,
little tiny one. But I want to do like a whole movie.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the word? Tribute on my arm, and then kind of ended up.
Maybe you should do like past and present kind of thing.
Well, this one's got just
like modern movies.
You've already got
classic.
a bunch, right?
Yeah, this one's just the hodgepodge on this arm. Right
I love
now.
the hodgepodge.
That's what mine are all going to be. I'm eventually going to be sleeved, but it's all just going to be individual tattoos.
That's what I got excited. I got excited about getting just nonsense on me.
Yeah.
From doing the Harvesting Hope thing. Like we went there as kind of a thing for the show, and it was just like, fuck it. What's the big deal if I just get a little something here that doesn't mean anything?
Yeah.
And that. Kind of, I mean, it hasn't set me down
doesn't,
any path
doesn't
because
need,
I don't.
It doesn't
get
need to mean
tattoos
anything. It'd just be kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I got the Chinese symbol on my arm that I regret every fucking day of my life.
And they specialize in cover-ups. Son.
Well, I got a plan. I just have to draw it out accurately. Where I want to do something of like the Manhattan skyline on here.
Oh, okay.
With like the Brooklyn Bridge and the but also underneath is going to be a musical note, like a sound wave. That says something like, I love New York or whatever. I can't think of anything right now, but I want to do like a sound wave on the bottom to make it look like it's an actual island.
Oh, okay.
But I want to,
That's kind of cool.
It's going to take up like the whole arm.
How about the Liza Minnelli version?
I love New York.
New York.
Is it Liza Minnelli or Kate Bush?
Nah, I got a cover up idea. I just want to put it to fruition. But yeah, I got the rock and roll monkey that Tommy Lopez did, his first color tattoo in his kitchen. I got a prison house tattoo in a house kitchen.
Nice.
Yeah. That one I love. I love that thing. It's faded as fuck, but it's awesome. And then I got my good and evil tattoo. It's like a Rorschach test. People read it and they're like, what does it say? And I'm like, well, what do you think? And they're like, it says good. I'm like, well, then you're a good person. I see evil. So it just happens.
Oh,
the duality of the thing.
Yeah. I remember it at the pool party. I remember seeing that one.
It's the
and
duality
I
of
figure it out.
Because on Saturday I was told I was a Cancer. The duality thing.
You sure are, Mike.
Oh God. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm like a social chameleon, as I like to call it, is where you can like interact with anybody in any space and any conversation, basically. Hence why I'm talking about time travel, and then I could also talk about movies, and I can talk about bullshit with all you guys. So.
Well, real quick, a big happy birthday to Will Rogers today. Remember, I was talking about Will Rogers Follies, the first musical I ever went to on this show?
Yeah.
Will Rogers would have been 140 today. The actual real-life Will Rogers was 140.
You want to be 140? I do. Oh,
I don't want to be 140.
I'm lucky I made it to
If I'm
38.
140, I better have mostly mostly metallic parts.
Bionic,
Yeah,
yeah.
mostly bionic parts.
I'm gonna be. It's gonna
I
be like
just
the
want
Matrix.
my face
Yeah.
and my hair.
Yeah,
And the
I
rest
want
of
my
it-
hair and my face. The rest of it's just, you can completely change.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, I just want my face, and it'd be like that Doctor Who episode where
Yeah.
she's like, moisturize me.
I basically want to look like RoboCop, but
No.
with hair.
Oh no.
Instead.
I watched that movie Alita Battle Angel. It was terrible. Don't watch it.
Oh,
But,
yeah, was it?
Yeah, it was terrible.
It
I
looked
watched it
s-
on the plane.
But it looked so
the
good.
CGI was amazing.
yeah, but it was just
Absolutely.
It's just a bad movie. Though.
I was talking to someone the other day, and she kind of was like, "Well, what's your favorite movie?" And I went, "That's a physical impossibility for me to narrow down." It's like I can give you a top 10 per genre,
yeah,
per year, but every movie that I see, I find something I like in it, and then I just like the movie. Like even if it's the bad acting, like I can watch The Room 1,000 times. And the reason I like it is because it's so bad. That's why.
Not Room, The Room.
The Room. Yeah.
Like the original one.
No, there's another movie that came out called Room.
Really?
Yeah, it was Brie Larson.
Yeah,
about
that one was pretty good. The girl that was kidnapped for like a decade. And was like living in a shed.
Yeah, I think I heard about that.
it was good.
No, when you say things like "I could watch The Room" like 100 times, and you think about that movie,
No,
it's like,
I can't watch. I can't watch Brie Larson being trapped in a room. I kind of don't like her. Although Captain Marvel was good. But yeah, there's always like like I said, I can't narrow down a movie that I like top 10 or top 5. It's just all over the place, and there's always something good.
50-50 between Jurassic Park and Terminator 2.
Dead set,
Jurassic
huh?
Park.
I can't decide.
Jurassic Park has a nice little place in my heart because that was July 6th, 1993. That was the day I realized I want to do movies.
Jurassic Park
When I saw Jurassic
has
Park.
a special place, and I think in most of our hearts. I don't know about Brooke. She's usually the wild card when it comes to this kind of shit. But I saw that in the fucking theater.
Yeah.
And I
like
remember
10
going,
years old.
like, I was instantly a
Bro.
5-year-old again.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like, dinosaurs.
Bro.
I was like 11 or 12.
I went
I
down
was
to
past it.
I went down to Palisades. I can't remember how long ago. It was years ago. A couple years ago. They had Jurassic Park, the 25th anniversary IMAX, like HD high res, all that stuff.
yeah.
I walked in there and I'm like, I don't care. It's fucking Jurassic Park. I'm going to see it no matter what. Get in there, watch the movie, and it was like I was 10 years old again, or 12 years old. I'm like, what going?
That movie was so
Holy fuck.
badass.
And like I've seen that movie so many times, I could tell you when pre-production started. I could tell you how long it took to make the movie. I could tell you what they did to make the movie, like what's the CGI and what they used to camera trickery and all this stuff. And watching it in the movie theater, I noticed more shit. Like I could actually see like all this nuanced, different like animatronics and whatnot. You just can't see it on a TV.
Yeah, I would love to see it in the theaters again.
It was
because the thing is,
it brought me back to my childhood.
I watch movies from like 2013. I go, well, that looks like shit.
Yeah.
And then I watch fucking Jurassic Park. And I'm like, still looks good.
Or Terminator 2.
Yeah,
The
still looks
liquid
good.
metal fucking
Yeah.
Terminator. It still looks good.
And that was not the first
Yes, it
instance of
does.
CGI, by the way. The
No.
Abyss was the first
Yep.
instance of actual CGI, like
Yeah,
legit
the water,
CGI.
the water creature.
That was the first. I mean, still James Cameron, but that was the first instance of CGI. Like people,
fully
people,
rendered CGI character or whatever.
Yeah, they give credit to Jurassic Park as being the first CGI, but it wasn't. It was, there was Terminator 2 and the Abyss before that. But yeah, and even the Abyss and Terminator 2 is still amazing for CGI wise. And now you watch movies and you're like, all right, that's obviously CGI, or you can't tell, and then you have to go back and forth. I don't know. I'm stuck on the YouTube rabbit hole where I watch all these like visual effects. They react to like bad and good CGI. There's a lot of shit we don't realize is like actual CGI, and we just don't know it. That's the whole point of a movie is if you can't notice it, then they did a good job.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
was
yeah.
told when I was working for a TV show is if you're doing a good job, nobody will say anything. That's when you know you did a great job. And that's the truth. You watch a movie and you see all this stuff and you're like, oh, this is a great movie. And then they go, you don't realize that movie was like 50% CGI. And then you go, oh, shit, you're right.
Yeah. Probably like all the new Alien movies are like that.
Yeah.
I saw a picture, like I just followed just crap on Instagram, and it was a picture of George Clooney and what's her name in that movie Gravity.
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. And it was a picture of them in the suits, like in the green screen. And
something like that.
They were seriously tied together with like a cable, like a big like metal honking thing that was spinning them around on a green screen.
Yeah.
So it's this giant thing, and they don't even bother painting it green because it's easy to just get rid of it now. And the suit that they were wearing didn't look like a spacesuit at all.
No, it's just
Didn't
a
look
mocap
like
suit.
It was just a suit so that they would move as if they were wearing a suit.
Yeah.
And then it had motion capture
So they
stuff on it.
CGI'd a fucking suit?
So the only thing that was being shot in that scene was their faces and their face. Like the only thing that was not CGI in every moment that they were in outer space was their faces.
Yeah.
Everything else was a
Wow.
completely fake body that was motion captured.
Avengers Endgame, the time travel suits.
Still
Keep
haven't
going
seen
back
it.
to time. What the fuck?
You should see it.
I
Dude.
know. I just
All right.
haven't watched
It's
it.
gonna be you and me for the next hour or
Yeah.
two. He's gonna. Anyway, well,
Yeah, the suits.
I haven't. It hasn't
All
been
right, well-
spoiled for me
well,
either. I have
no.
no idea what happens in the movie.
there's a
That's
se-
good. Just
there's
check
a-
it out.
All right, so
it's
there's
like $5.
I'll have to. I'll have to vagify this. There's a scene where they're wearing these special suits
that don't travel through time.
that don't travel through time. But
No,
these
they
suits-
the dimensional thing we were talking about. So some of it's been spoiled for you.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
we
I,
didn't
kn-
know.
I knew
yeah.
that they were going to go back in time.
All right. Well, anyway,
You can't kill off half the fucking.
Did you see
you
the
can't
new?
kill off half the Guardians of the Galaxy and then have
all
Guardians
of
of
them.
the Galaxy.
It was fucking
All of
everybody.
Oh, it was all of them,
Yeah.
and then except for Rocket,
Rocket.
and then
Yeah.
have a third one coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
they gotta go back in time and save everybody.
well, those suits are 100% CGI.
Wow.
There's
Yeah.
but they weren't using mocap suits, which is what you saw in Spider-Man Far From Home, the little gray things with the little triangles and whatnot. That's a mocap suit. They were using just
Motion capture for the
sorry,
layperson.
motion capture.
This guy's got the lingo and everything.
They
But
all
yeah,
they
but
did
now the craziest thing with motion capture, like it used to be, it would be like a little yellow thing that they'd put on you,
Like
and
ping
the
pong
computer
balls.
would pick
Yeah,
it up.
ping pong
Now,
balls, yeah.
now it's actually an infrared patch.
Yeah.
So it's not just a ball; it's a triangle.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
So the camera is an infrared camera. They're not even recording you as a person or whatever, but they sit in tandem, right? So you have like a little triangle here, so it can tell like like as I move my shoulder like this, it flexes in, out, back,
Yeah.
forward, and they can create an exact duplicate so it doesn't look fake.
And now they
Whereas you
have
remember, like in the first
worse.
Spider-Man, like you could tell it was a CGI Spider-Man
Sure.
flying around.
Matrix
it
2.
just doesn't move like
Yeah.
a person. But now it moves like a person.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
But in Endgame, they had something even better. It was those little red dots, like those little red stickies you get. You know, the little whatever they're the little little red stickies. Yeah, they just put them all over their actual suits, and that was it. There was no motion capture suits. There was no ping pong balls or nothing.
Oh, how cool! So you were like in your superhero suit.
Yeah,
while
they
you're
were
doing the
they
fucking
were in
scene?
their superhero
That's probably really
suits.
helpful as an actor.
And all they had was these little red dots, which looked a little funny, but nothing that was constricting their movement or anything.
Yeah.
And all of those suits were 100% CGI.
Except
And-
for Mysterio's.
Well, no, I'm talking about Endgame.
Oh, okay.
Mysterio's.
I'm
that's a
thinking
diff-
of Spider-Man. Forget it.
In Endgame, they were all 100% CGI, and you're looking at it going, that is fucking amazing.
I
'Cause
can't.
And
now I want
suits
to watch
have
it just
depth.
so I
Well,
can pick it out.
especially
Flex
because
and
they're
everything.
not they're supposed to be what is that, like the little robots, like Tony Stark's new-
nanotechnology.
It's nanotechnology.
Yeah,
It's not
Yeah.
it's not an outfit.
Yeah.
Like they hit a button and the thing goes brrr.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
all
so
yeah. It's amazing what they can do with CGI now and all that crap and hide it and going back to Alita where we're also going back to Alita where the movie did suck but the CGI was amazing.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal. Then I think it's ridiculous how I was in film school and it took me like a week just to make a glittery title for one of my videos doing After Effects and these guys are like, yeah, in a week we made a movie where we made Hulk's face flex.
Yeah.
With pores and wrinkles and everything. And I'm like, yeah, that sucks.
The Hulk is
Yeah.
is my favorite CGI bit out of all those movies because he still looks like fucking Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It cracks me up. I'm like, wow. They made Hulk look like Hulk, but with Mark Ruffalo kind of
nuances.
Wait till you
in
see
there.
this movie too.
I know, yeah, because I've seen the Smart Hulk memes with him wearing glasses and shit. So I have ideas of what goes on in the movies, but I have like literally no idea, like who lives, who dies, who makes it to the end, how they button everything up. So I'm just gonna.
It was well done. I mean,
let's just say
I'm interested to see what's gonna come in the future with the thing.
Yeah,
the Marvel comic universe.
At the end of the movie, there was not a dry eye in the entire theater, and it was absolutely dead silence, and you could hear people sobbing like. That kind of thing.
Gross.
But this is a comic book
Not,
movie.
yeah, I know. It's not Rudy.
It was just really well done.
It was extremely.
This isn't
well
Lord of the
done.
Rings. Calm your shit.
Oh fuck, Lord of the Rings. Even the trees walked in that movie. Yeah. No, I don't like Lord of the Rings. I think that movie sucks. Yeah. I know.
You haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie then?
No, I haven't even seen Homecoming.
No?
Well, you should definitely.
I'm not a fan of Spider-Man.
Well, that's fine.
I just
But
like.
Anyway,
I
here's
know the
a
whole
cool
Iron
thing. No,
thing-
here's
Iron
a
Man
cool
thing
thing.
that
So
happened
Jake
with me.
Gyllenhaal, he wasn't supposed to be wearing. He's Mysterio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you're familiar with the character. From
Oh,
the
I know
comics.
Mysterio.
He
yeah.
wasn't supposed to be in the costume, literally the whole movie, but he wanted to be. So he's like, "Can't I just wear the costume? Like I'm supposed to be this guy. Like why would I take it off and change?" And they're like, "I guess." And he's like, "Cool." And he just wanted to be in the costume the whole movie.
Yeah.
So he was just like, I feel like if Mysterio is a character from another dimension or whatever, like why would he feel like he needs to put on jeans and a shirt?
Yeah, you didn't see. I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I've read.
Yeah, but
I've
it
read
was
Mysterio, Spider-Man comics with Mysterio in them. I don't remember seeing his face ever.
No, it's very different than it. Well,
it's similar, but they took liberties. Mysterio in the comics,
they made it more realistic.
Was
because
like a special.
Mysterio
effects.
just was magic.
Yeah.
No, don't tell him. Don't tell him.
No, Mysterio in the comic. No, I'm talking about comics. Mysterio in the comics was more of like a special effects type of person.
Yeah.
Where he did
Yeah.
like the flashbangs like Batman and shit like
Yeah.
that. So they
So it's kind of like practical
practical
magic.
effects. Yeah.
Yeah, practical effects. Not the movie with Sandra Bullock.
Oh yeah, that one. It took me a second.
Practical effects.
Practical, yeah. But yeah, they changed it a little bit while kind of keeping it within the source material. So it was pretty good. I liked it.
Cool. I don't know. Spider-Man's always been like funny for me.
Well,
Believe it or
the
not.
new Spider-Man.
But like
a
I
lot.
say that, but I didn't like Iron Man either. And he was like, "You haven't seen the Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr.?" I'm like, "Nah, I just skipped it."
I'm like, you're an idiot.
This is like years later.
Yeah, I
Watch
was
that
like, you're a
shit.
dumb, stupid person. You
He
should watch
left,
that.
he left my apartment in a huff and came back with the fucking Blu-ray, and we watched it.
Yes.
In our 30s, like
Yeah.
fucking 20-year-olds.
I was like, you're a dumb, stupid idiot that doesn't know anything.
Watch this
And you're
shit.
like, yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
We were back in high school, all of a sudden
Yeah.
eating chips and watching fucking Iron Man.
Oh no.
But it was great. It was really fucking
Yeah.
good. So now, like, I know, I'm sure that the new Spider-Man movies are pretty fucking cool. I just haven't like sought them out. That's all. And
Yeah.
now with the Disney,
My favorite part
Disney
about it
thing
is that he's like
I'm-
a fucking kid.
Yeah.
No,
That's the good thing
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
And
that's my
and
favorite
the
thing
interesting
about it,
thing,
actually.
like with the Disney thing, I know how they're gonna do it.
No, but when I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing,
I know how they're gonna do it.
seeing the movies is difficult now for me. I used to just go on Netflix and ooh, Infinity War is on here.
Yeah.
Let's watch that. And then boom, I
Disney
was
came
caught.
out and fuck.
And Disney came out, and now they have their pay-for service, and I'm not going to be able to see The Mandalorian, which is really upsetting.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
And fucking what's his name directed is producing
Jon
it.
Favreau.
Or Jon Favreau, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it's probably going to be really goddamn good.
Because he's good with practical effects.
Huh? Yeah, but you don't let me rent movies. I'm not spending money on a movie.
The one thing that's going to throw me off and bake my noodle is how they're going to incorporate Deadpool into all this.
Oh.
And keep it
Apparently,
R.
they've been talking. They've been
Completely ridiculously.
so they've been talking about. They are sitting down.
So
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's
We'll see how
happening?
that goes.
Here's my theory, and I'm always fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But this is what everyone's theories
Take out
is.
another Gutenberg when you
Yeah.
get a chance.
Yeah.
So it all comes
yeah,
down
that's
to Doctor Strange and different dimensions.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's potentially how Spider-Man will no longer be in the Marvel comic universe, because they've kind of parted ways and there's no plan on how to fix that.
Oh no, they brought him back.
They did bring it back?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're back. Spider-Man's back with Disney.
It's all good?
Yeah, they
Okay.
Great, because
it was a giant pissing contest.
hopefully he
basically.
joins X Factor.
Yeah.
Or X
So
Force.
Isn't that a
here's
little
what could
derivative?
potentially happen. So there were many Spider-Man and X-Men crossovers, and X-Men crossed over in the Marvel. But the problem is that now you have X-Men that has a totally very involved backstory.
Yeah.
At which point Magneto lifted a stadium and dropped it on the fucking White House. Like
Yeah.
that didn't happen in the Marvel comic universe, so you need to figure out a way to make that work, which is why they brought in the multiverse thing in
It could be, yeah.
in Endgame, because that means that there's now infinite numbers of universes, infinite numbers of realities that Doctor Strange can just like take that fucking time stone and look at.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
And
so
now
yeah,
he can
he
put
went back.
Deadpool into
so
the,
Deadpool
he can, like-
Deadpool is 100% in the X-Men universe.
Yes.
They talk about that all the time, and people are like putting up Photoshop shit with fucking Wolverine walking through a ring.
Yeah,
And
there's
it would
a lot
not,
of videos
it wouldn't
and shit
wouldn't
like
be
that.
a problem at all for them to do that. They can just do it now if they want to. They can just do it.
Yeah.
It's an alternate reality where Thanos doesn't exist.
I think they set the tone with X-Men First Class. Or was it not First Class? Days of Future Past.
Yeah, where you can just change
They
everything.
that movie kind of like just
That was
smoothed all the edges
Yeah.
for all the superhero movies.
That was
They were
their
like,
way
how
of
about this,
saying-
motherfuckers? Let's
yeah,
go.
it's just everyone going, the third one sucked. We know the second one also kind of sucked. We're just throwing it all out the window. We figured it out, and it was in existing canon.
Yeah,
Like,
and it was also
yeah.
a comic. It was actually based on a real comic too.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like some bullshit story.
Yeah.
Like they just took the source material from a comic and made it into a movie.
It's funny how that when they do that, they have a good movie.
Yeah.
But it's a way like
Exactly.
I
It's
was
weird.
getting
It's like
so
Stan Lee knew what he
tired.
was doing the whole time.
I was getting so tired of
Yeah, exactly.
reboot after reboot after reboot after reboot. This way, you could just go like, no, it's a continuation of the story. We could just do it different now. If we
Yeah,
want.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah. What's the big thing now is Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they
They're
keep trying,
They're rebooting it again.
but apparently they're trying to bring it into the Marvel comic
Yeah.
universe.
And
And the
that's
re-
what this is going to be number
This
3.
is the
Yeah.
third time.
The third
Yeah.
time that they've rebooted.
And the reason they
Yeah.
rebooted
not.
No, the second.
The
This will
second
be the
time that
third
they've
time they've
rebooted.
rebooted.
Yeah.
third
So-
version, second time they rebooted.
Yeah, so
But
there
they-
was a Fantastic Four, and then Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
And then they ditched that franchise,
fucking sucked.
and then they tried to get kids into it.
They
by
tried
having
to-
younger people, and it was just it was
Yeah.
a disaster.
They
The-
tried to
like-
pull a Marvel, like what Marvel was doing, which was
Mm-hmm.
keep it at its, keep it grounded, but also
Mm-hmm.
change things a little bit, and they just fucked it up left, right, and center.
It was
Like
really,
I
really bad.
that's one of those movies where I just did not like any of it. I'll actually
Yeah.
admit that. I watched that going, you guys fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
Bad.
So I'm thinking that the way to do it, if you want to stick to what's out there,
Yeah.
the Fantastic Four and X-Men need to be two separate universes,
I think so.
and then they can bring it
Sure.
all in. There's
They can have
unlimited
this
possibilities.
big cross-dimensional fucking movie, multi-dimensional movie where they got to save the world from like, huh? The Thing, Mr.
Fantastic,
Fantastic, the
Invisible
Invisible
Woman.
Girl, the Human Torch,
Johnny Storm.
who was also denied a bank loan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
And
also Captain America.
and Chris Evans. Yeah.
Oh fuck! I forgot.
Yeah. Chris Evans.
That was like a really
he's
early
actually
role for
been.
him, right?
Chris Evans has actually been.
That was early 2000s. Yeah.
like 4 comic book characters.
Wow.
He was Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four.
Uh-huh.
Captain America, obviously.
Uh-huh.
He and I don't remember their characters' names, and the movies are kind of like vague to me. But he was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Okay.
He was a comic book character. in
Yeah,
that.
and the movie with the train. That was a comic book.
Oh, Snowpiercer 5.
Yeah.
And then there was another
Snowpiercer
one.
was the shit. That was a good movie.
I go back and forth between hating it and loving it.
Yeah, I love hate it.
This one, I can't remember the movie, but he was. It was with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, where they played like ex-commandos or something, and it was a comic book movie. It was like The Other Guys or something. I can't remember the name specifically off the top of my head, but he's been like 5 comic book characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So this dude is like stuck in that genre, and he's been trying to get out for years.
Get out, or he wants to just go deeper in?
He's been trying to get out for a while.
Really?
Yeah. He was.
You guys seen Sunshine?
No.
Such a good fucking movie.
He has that fucking face. He just has
He
that
was in
fucking superhero face.
Yeah.
That's all. You know,
Yeah.
he's blonde, he's blue-eyed, he's
Yeah,
chiseled.
If he
he's
fucking
Yeah, but then you
if he
watch him
just
in not
grew
another
his hair
team.
out and stopped taking fucking steroids, maybe
Yeah.
he'd get cast in something else.
Yeah.
But if you watch him in not
Yeah.
another teen movie, you're not going to be like, oh, that's Captain America right there, where he has the fucking whipped cream thing going on.
Oh
Remember that?
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys should see Sunshine though. That's
gotta-
such a good fucking movie. It's Cillian Murphy.
That's the one they have to restart the sun.
Yeah,
Ooh.
dude,
That's why I skipped it though.
dude, I'm telling, it's a really good fucking movie.
I got
And
a
it's
huge backlog
fucking
of movies to catch up on.
insane.
Uh,
It's insane.
I got to see that.
Have you've seen like the word cerebral comes to mind, where it's just like you'd kind of see it coming, and then you're like, wait, no, oh God, oh I was right, oh okay, this is really bad. It's
Yeah.
where you're just like, oh I know what's happening, and then they fucking. Yeah, you
Oh,
fucking
no.
you go.
It's,
That
I
movie is
I
like
sit there
where
and I
you
let
go,
the movie just take me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just I sit there and I go, tell me the story.
Yeah.
I rarely like try to figure stuff out. There was there's one movie. It was like Goodnight Mommy or whatever the hell. The one where they like blew the fucking woman's. the
yeah. You
twins.
should definitely watch that movie if you're listening.
I figured it out before the fucking credits were over.
Yeah.
Like they were still saying it still said directed by such and such, and I went, oh. And I just sat there for the next hour and a half. Knowing exactly what was gonna be the big turn, and Brooke was like, "Whoa!" And I went, "Yeah." Beginning of the movie, she's like, "When?" We stopped the fucking movie. I went back and I played it, and I went here, and she went, "Oh shit."
Yeah, sometimes
They fucking just show you.
Somebody somebody did
It
that.
was so blatant, it freaked me
while
out. I
ago.
was like, "God damn!"
But it's kind of cool for the people that didn't catch that one thing. You know what
it's
I mean?
really cool. But
Because I love watching
it was
movies.
a big gamble.
I mean, I love watching movies and going back. Like, I mean, the best example is Fight Club, where you're just
you can
like,
watch that
how
1,000
the fuck
times.
did I not notice that?
Yeah. You can watch it 1,000 times and always find something new.
Yeah, I'm just in the first 5 minutes of the movie, he's flickering in the background. I'm like, how the fuck? What?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Now I remember. War of the Worlds. 2005.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, 2005 War of the Worlds. I didn't see it. I saw it in the theater. I saw it in the theater with a friend of mine, and there was the scene where the aliens are in the basement, and they're playing that little cat and mouse game in the basement.
Yeah,
And they started drinking the water in the basement. That's like trickling in, and this girl leaned over and she's like, "That's bad." Like she kind of did one. Like she's like, "That's bad," and I went, "Okay, fine." And then in the end of the movie, they're all dying because of the bacteria. And I look at her, I'm like, you just fucking ruined the whole movie for me.
Well, but I mean, that story's been around for like 40 years.
Yeah, but it's still like,
Well, at that point, now it's like 65 years,
yeah,
isn't it?
really true. But like you go in there with like a fresh set of eyes, and you don't try to like figure. I don't like doing that figuring who did it type deal. I just let it immerse
I let the
me.
let the movie take me where it
just
needs
let
to
me
go.
go in there. Like if it's a Terry Gilliam movie, you have no fucking idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You just hope that acid kicks in at just the right time, and boom, go for it.
I mean, I do like when I figure stuff out, but I also like when I'm completely wrong.
Yeah,
because I constantly like I was talking about the Marvel comic universe thing.
Yeah.
Like, I was right about Game of Thrones.
Oh,
you
yeah.
were.
Yeah, I fucking knew it. But it was because a lot of other people did a lot more research, and I said, I agree with that. But, like a lot of movies.
But that might not be how the book ends. That's
no,
the crazy
it might
thing.
not be.
Oh, actually,
I'm really
he said,
excited for the books because
he said the book is going to be different. George Martin.
Anyway, but I kind of like going like pausing the movie and going, "This is what I think is happening." Like I kind of enjoy that.
I hate it. I just want to sit there and I want to be uninterrupted, and I just want to let the movie take me where it needs to go.
Yeah.
I don't need to dig. I'm not thinking of stuff.
So what,
I'm just
what about Shutter Island?
I never watched it.
You should watch that.
I
movie.
got ruined for me though.
Well, then I'll just talk about it. You've seen Shutter Island?
No.
Oh my god,
it got ruined for me.
That was in that gray area where I wasn't watching many movies at that period of time.
I won't watch it.
It's definitely
because the whole
and it kind
the
of,
whole reason it got
whole thing
ruined is
got
the whole reason for the movie.
Yeah.
You know? It's
So the
big
thing.
twist.
Okay, so I won't spoil it for you then.
I kind of already know what happened, but
The thing it's they so expertly dropped all of these little tidbits that if you watch it a second time, you're like, how the fuck did I not notice that?
Yeah.
And it's like, the ending. So the thing is, it's like he never lights his own cigarette. He pulls out a cigarette, puts it in his mouth. Everybody okay?
What was that?
So
TV tray.
Oh.
So he pulls out a cigarette, puts it in his mouth, puts cigarettes back in, and then always, conveniently, someone leans in, lights a match, and lights his fucking cigarette for him.
Interesting.
Because he's not allowed to have matches.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that you go, oh, how did I fucking not notice that?
It was also like what the M. Night Shyamalan movie with Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah,
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a perfect example.
He
of
never
just like,
moves chairs.
Yeah.
In the movie, he never opens doors.
He never has he never has a back and forth conversation with someone.
He always just shows up.
Yeah, he might like that scene with him and what's her name?
His wife.
His no, not his wife, the kid's mom.
Oh yes, yeah, and they're just sitting there in the couch.
Yeah, where the kid comes home and they're just sitting there across from each other, not speaking.
Yeah. It's you watch a second, obviously the ending.
I remember that scene like threw me really hard. I was just like,
holy
he's
fuck.
just fucking here? That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. What cracks me? This is a shitty movie. But 50 First Dates.
Oh,
yeah. When she buys him the Sixth Sense for his fucking birthday.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that poor motherfucker has to watch that every day.
Yeah, his dad. Her dad, yeah.
That's
He
fucking
keeps
funny as hell.
rewrapping it. Can you believe he was dead the entire time?
I had no idea.
Didn't see it coming at all.
Oh my god. That sucks so bad having to watch that
gag,
movie
man.
every day. I can't do that even with my favorite movies. I would kill myself.
We just watched this horror movie, Hell House, LLC. And it was like, it's kind of like a B movie. It's a found footage movie, and I'm usually not good with those. But
I've
I'm
seen
finding that the paranormal found footage movies kind of get me.
Yeah.
They hit me on a chord. Like Paranormal Activity scared the fucking piss out of me.
Still have not seen any of those.
That was another one that
what you need
I
to
have
do-
the one that you need to watch.
Yes, you need to watch the Sundance version,
Yeah.
not the Spielberg version.
I have a bootleg version of the Sundance version with the real ending, not the bullshit. So everybody heard the story. Oh, they only spent $50,000, and then Steven Spielberg spent $80,000 on 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah,
You got to
but
see the
most of it
original
was like
Sundance.
having to like completely recreate the set and shit like that because they
Yeah.
wanted to reshoot the ending.
Yeah, because you got to redo research, and
The
it
ending
takes time to do stuff like that.
the
like in this area.
ending for the theatrical version is dog shit. It's just fucking.
The only
it's-
reason they
it's
did
so
it is to
stupid.
set up the franchise.
franchise.
That's
Oh,
it.
I hate it when
Yep.
they do that shit.
Yeah,
it's like,
'cause-
oh
'cause
yeah,
it
you
was-
got to wait 3 more years for this to
There was
show up. And
yeah,
that's
there
if
was
it
no
makes
way.
money.
There was no way to make a sequel to it with
But-
the original cut.
No kidding.
But I have it.
Oh.
If you want it, I've got a bootleg of it.
That's like the original ending of Clerks, where Dante dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, where he gets robbed.
I've
and
never
killed.
actually seen it. But
I
I've
have.
always heard about it.
I
Yeah.
have.
The original cut of Clerks, it was the theatrical ending that you see in Clerks. The movie just ended because when Randall's like throws the "I sure you were open" sign, he's like, "Yeah, you're closed," and then that's it. there was supposed to be like an extra 5 minutes where Dante is packing up, like clearing out the register and everything. A guy comes in and just shoots him right in the face, or shoots him in the head or something like that.
Yeah, he robs him.
and then he
shoots
dies.
him,
Yeah,
dies on the fucking
and
floor.
that's the end.
Yeah.
And I guess test audiences didn't like it, or it didn't leave it open for like sequels or something
no
like
shit,
that.
they didn't like it. That was dark enough. They didn't need that.
Yeah.
Fucking...
But if you didn't do that, then you wouldn't have like Clerks 2 and Jay and Silent Bob reboot,
Yeah, sure.
Strike Back, all that stuff.
Are you
But,
going
like,
to see
this-
the reboot?
I already saw it.
You saw it?
Oh,
was
yeah.
it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
you do the thing with the Q&A and all of that afterwards?
No, what I did was I went to Poughkeepsie, the movie theater there. They were doing like a 2-night preview of the movie. So a buddy of mine.
I'm confused.
They're touring the movie.
Yeah. Jay and Silent
So
Bob
it's not
reboot.
a wide. It's not wide.
No,
release.
so you could get. They're very expensive though. I think it's like $100 a ticket or something like that.
Yes.
But they're premiering the movie in a town. So I think there's like 60 dates in
Yes.
the next 18 months or something, or over 18 months. Or
They're
going to
be in Albany
Yeah.
in February.
Yeah. Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith take this thing on tour. Like they're driving like an SUV to all these places. Like they're doing like a cross country thing. It's almost like a comedy tour. And they premiere the movie to a bunch of people who paid a bunch of money to be there, and then they do a Q&A after. And then after that, the theater releases the movie. So they're not doing a traditional release.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
The
And
movie-
the
I like
reason that they did that is because everyone in the movie was completely unpaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got fucking Alec Baldwin. Who else is in it?
Matt Damon's in
Matt
it.
Damon.
Fuckers
Yeah.
just showed up to do scenes.
Ben Affleck.
Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis signed on to the movie 10 years ago. He said, "Hey, if you're ever gonna fucking, is it Bruce Willis?"
I was pretty
I'm
high.
thinking of a different
I
movie.
can't remember if he was in there or not.
It's a Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing this to like.
I didn't hate that
Yeah.
movie, but
It's
it needed.
the second Jay
It's
and
a
Silent
giant
Bob movie,
dick and fart
or
joke.
the second or Clerks 2 you're talking about?
I thought Clerks 2 was sweet.
I liked Clerks too.
I thought
Then
it was
what are you
I'm talking
talking
about Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Oh,
movie.
yeah, that was
Oh, that was just one giant dick and fart joke,
Yeah.
basically. The other reason they're also doing this comedy tour thing, like the different cities, is because it costs a lot of money to widely distribute a movie.
Yeah.
Even though it's all digital now and you can download it in 5 seconds, you still have to all these theater chains have to pay for this. It costs
They're smart though. They're tapping into the
budget.
cult.
Yeah, a movie budget is say like $200 million. At least $50 million is going towards distribution and advertising. So
sometimes way more.
Sometimes
than that.
more.
Yeah.
Sometimes tie-in deals, all that stuff. So they had no distribution money for it. So they're doing this slowly to make money to eventually widely release it.
Huh.
But when I went, it was
He's always just been.
he gets fucked left, right, and center. It's really kind of funny.
So you went and you saw this.
Yeah, I saw the reboot. I thought it was hilarious. Again, I kind of had like a little tear in my eye in a few certain scenes because it was actually very sweet and comical and endearing. But it was the last minute of the movie that made the movie for me, and it was a running joke that goes all the way back to the first minute of Clerks 1.
Really?
Yes. I am not going to say what it is. If you see Clerks 1, you know what it is. Or sorry, not the first minute, the first 10 minutes of Clerks 1. But yeah, it just ties it right back to Clerks 1.
I love those movies, man. I've seen them a million
Yes.
times.
And it was that last 30 seconds of reboot that made the whole movie, made the whole thing. I went, holy fuck, this answers everything.
It's vastly superior to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yes. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was just all slapstick and jokes and no camera
Yeah,
angles.
that
or
felt
anything.
very much like a early 2000s
it was
road trip type movie.
It was like
This
like
one-
Anchorman. It was very clunky.
Yeah, this one, you definitely see Kevin Smith's directing chops and writing chops in there. Like Ben Affleck has a really amazing scene in the movie. Matt Damon does a 1-minute cameo, and you're just like, "What the fuck happened?" But then you laugh your ass off. They bring back everybody. Like they kind of make fun of Comic-Cons as well. They call it Chronicon in the movie. So they kind of make fun of that shit. Iron Man, they make fun of him, say Iron Bob in the movie. It's a lot of callbacks, a lot of throwbacks. But the funniest part was Kevin Smith's actual daughter's in the movie, Harley Quinn, who looks just like Jay Mewes too. So she plays, I don't know, whatever. but she looks like Jay Muse, and she plays Jay Muse's illegitimate bastard child in the movie. And you hear her speak, and you're like, "Holy crap!" That's just like because she grew up with Jay Muse, so she knows who he is. So yeah, she's pretty much just playing him in the movie.
That's too fucking funny.
And I really like the movie. I think it should definitely I saw it in Poughkeepsie, and I bought tickets to go in February to Albany to see it because it was just awesome. It's like one of those great movies you gotta like watch again in the theater.
Huh.
You know.
I think that's it's cool and smart on their part, only because it's the whole Clerks and Mallrats and all that stuff. That's always been cult.
It's
always been a cult following. It's always been a small following. There's people that just don't get it, and people that fucking just laugh their balls off at it. And that's always been me. Even the goddamn animated series. I love that fucking
I
shit.
love
It's
that
fucking
show.
hilarious.
Yeah.
What was it?
I really wish
But
that got
and
some
like,
traction.
but that's
The
what they're
first, what was it? The first episode of Clerks, the animated comedy, where the voiceover goes previously on Clerks, and then it was just beep.
And then at the end of that episode, it was like, next week on Clerks.
Beep. Yes. I was like that's ingenuity right there. That's innovative. That's out of
Why
the box.
are we walking like this?
But
for fucking for 5 episodes, they just kept doing that like, doom,
yeah.
doom.
Dum,
Why are
dum.
we walking like this? God, it made no sense.
I'm gonna have to go home and watch that now. All like 7 episodes.
I have them on
Yeah.
DVD.
So do I.
Yeah, so do I. I haven't gotten rid of my
Real
DVDs
fucking
yet.
funny.
I'm kind of remiss to. I don't want
I'm
to.
never gonna do it.
I feel like you can make the argument that they're exploiting their fans
Oh
for this.
yeah.
But I think but
I don't think
You pay
so.
a
I
hun-
think
you
you're
pay
just you're making it for the people who are willing to pay $100.
you pay $100.
I don't even know if it's that much. What did you pay for all-
75, and then there's like the ticket fee, so it's almost.
So say $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But I
pay
got
a-
like
you-
good seats.
You pay
Yeah.
$100. You get good seats to see this thing that is only being presented first to fans.
Yeah.
So you're in the theater with people who came to see this movie and came to see this movie because they love Kevin Smith and they love what he's done.
Yeah.
You go to movies. You go to a movie that like an obscure comic book movie called Sandman. They've been working on the Sandman for like fucking years and years and years.
Yeah.
You go to Sandman, you see it, and you're a fan of the comic book, but you're also surrounded like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% of the audience is not fans of the comic. So they're just kind of learning.
Yeah, you throw like
shit.
Marvel on there or something, and they'll automatically go. They won't even know
Right.
who the character is.
I think the only example of a fully released movie that felt like what I imagined this is like would be Grindhouse.
Yes.
When
That's
I
the-
went to see
Yeah.
Grindhouse, everybody was flipping the fuck out.
Yeah, they're ready to see a fucking Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez like knockdown, drag
Yeah.
out 3.5
And-
hours of just nonsense.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of
Complete
what it
nonsense.
is. That's kind of what it is. It's
I
just
hate Planet Terror. What a shitty movie.
It's so fun though.
It's fun, but I hate it.
be honest. I liked Planet Terror better than Death.
Nah, Death
Proof.
Proof. I watched
Yeah.
Death Proof. Pretty
I never
recent-
noticed
recently.
this.
I love
have
that movie.
I've never noticed this. I do have both of them on DVD, but I never noticed this. And I saw it. Like,
I
on a
only have
meme.
Death Proof on DVD.
I saw it
I
in a
hate
meme, and I was
Nice.
super pissed
so much.
that I didn't notice it. But apparently, in a scene in Death Proof, his fucking tank top, like the actual prop, the tank top that he wore in Big Trouble in Little China, is hanging on the wall.
No
No.
shit.
Yeah,
Way.
yeah.
I watch it again.
That's
It's probably
another.
in the
That's
bar
one of
or
those
whatever.
movies they
Yeah.
cannot reboot. Big Trouble in Little China. They cannot.
They
do
will.
It.
They'll do it.
There's only. There,
Motherfuckers.
I mean,
There was a.
There
was
would
a
be one
rumor.
way that they could do it.
There was a rumor that was going around.
Yeah.
That they were doing it, and
There's,
people freaked the fuck out.
there's
Like,
only
people got
one.
really mad.
Yeah,
I could see them doing a sequel to it. That would be fun. Because
Oh,
he's
what
like
was
really old now, but it'd be
Yeah.
really fun.
Pork Chop
there's
Express.
only
Yeah.
one movie I know where it is literally in a contract where they cannot reboot it or remake it, and that's Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It was literally written in Robert Zemeckis or somebody that was high up on that movie. They cannot reboot or make a sequel without Robert Zemeckis or his estate, in case he dies, their permission. So that's the only movie I know where you won't get a sequel or a reboot, and I'm kind of happy about it. So anytime you
Yeah.
hear the news like, oh, Back to the Future 4 is coming out, or they showed like the bullshit concept art. I'm always like, it's fake. It's fake. Just read the contract. They cannot make it. It's like illegal, no matter what. His family could even say no 30 years after he's dead, and they just can't do it.
I don't think,
I don't think that needs to happen.
Big
That's
Trouble,
not what I would
Big
want to
Trouble's
say.
fine. It's like ridiculous and completely
Yeah, that's
insane.
such a weird movie, off the rails kind of thing. But that's also what's great about 80s movies too.
You
is
can't
throw anything out
yeah,
there. and make
you
it a movie.
can't capture the fucking weirdness of that movie.
You want to know what I want to see?
Again.
I want to see a real-time reboot of Beverly Hills Cop.
They're gonna do it
with the same people, with Eddie Murphy.
Eddie
and fucking,
Murphy's already rebooting half his shit anyway. They're doing
how fucking hilarious would that be if they're
Coming
in
to
there,
America 2.
If they're in there, yeah, they are doing that. Yeah,
it's filming.
I heard Dolomite
Beverly
is my
Hills
name.
Cop. But Beverly Hills Cop, he's like Eddie Murphy's like 60 now.
Somewhere.
He
Yeah.
looks amazing though.
Well, of course.
He's in-
Judge
he looks
Reinhold looks
fantastic.
amazing too.
He
He's
does
still
not.
alive?
He does
Yeah.
not. There's
I didn't
no,
know that.
There's no way.
I really have no idea. I
There's
just
no way on planet Earth that Judge Reinhold looks good right now.
Like I really have no idea. I just
See, I'm
said it.
I'm harking back
I
to
just
Fast
blurted
Times
it
at
out because
Ridgemont.
there's a 50-50 chance that you'd be like, I bet he does look great.
Nah, he probably looks fucking horrible.
Oh yeah, he's got it. He's got to have like no hair by now. He's got to be half bald.
I'm gonna love if you're like, holy shit, he looks better than I do.
He's got the George Costanza hair, all that shit.
Looks like Howdy Doody. Hold on, let me just make sure that these are like the latest images for him.
Yeah. But getting back, you can't remake the essence of those 80s movies.
I mean, he still looks like himself, but his eyes have. Oh, hold on. His eyes have gotten closer together, and they look like.
He has
one
definitely
is
had a
smaller
facelift.
than the other. Look at
He's
it.
100% had a facelift.
Dude, he looks like a. What the?
His hairline. He's got a 6 head
Get that out of the
instead
way.
of a 5 head,
I can't even.
which is bigger than a 4 head. Look at how big his ears are.
Know what he looks like? He looks like Jack Nicholson in Batman when he was the Joker and he put the skin colored face paint on. That's what he looks like.
What's with that ridiculous grin?
I just always have a smile on my
He
face.
goes, "Life's been good to me."
Yeah, something like that.
he looks like
Oh
the
my
Joker
God.
with human.
Yes,
face paint
that's
on.
what he looks like. Holy shit.
Yeah, I feel like he does have the medical hair replacement too.
Uh-huh.
And definitely a facelift.
He definitely got some injection on those cheeks.
Yeah.
And he has no eyebrows.
Poor Judge Reinhold.
Oh man, he missed a career opportunity actually becoming a judge too.
Wow. Yeah.
Honorable Judge Reinhold.
Rentis the dentist.
Yeah.
Or Crentis. That's it. Crentis the dentist.
Oh,
Yeah.
that reminds me. You got to see this Christmas movie, Krampus.
We
You
saw. Of course, I saw.
All
it.
right, I didn't know if you saw it.
Oh!
Krampus
what?
Fest in
What?
Rhinebeck. They have a Krampus. Wait, Krampus.
Krampus. Yeah.
Krampus Fest in Rhinebeck this year. I'm gonna go.
What was the sergeant's
I'm not
name?
gonna go.
In Beverly Hills Cop. Sergeant
Taggart.
Taggart.
Yeah.
Here's Sergeant Taggart.
He's dead. He's got to be dead. He's like 4 million years old. Well, that's Reinhold.
That's Sergeant Taggart right there.
Dude, he actually looks good.
He lost a ton of weight.
He had the Al Roker thing.
Yeah. He's got that loose skin.
Yeah,
fucking, like,
he's got the.
I lost
the,
a bunch of weight at 60.
He's got the turkey waddle going on right there. Like early December. I don't know, but
Talking about Krampus Fest.
I'm gonna go.
Well, no one can hear her. That's why.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
We should just do
Krampus
this.
Fest.
Rhinebeck.
I don't know if it's on.
It's on Facebook because everything's attached to Facebook lately.
This is going great.
Yeah, there's a
I know you're gonna be
Krampus Fest.
talking like this.
Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas, that's what it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sinterklaas. I didn't get a
Sinterklaas
chance.
Festival in Rhinebeck. It just doesn't look as scary and.
Well, it's not going to be the old school way where they have like the people
I-
dressed up and trying to steal
Yes,
children.
I want people dressed up as like goat demons with kids in baskets. That's what I want to see. I'm not coming
Matt
here.
And Lee's costumes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. That's no. This is not it. This is just a Dutch thing. No, this is not what I'm looking
Can
for.
I talk about me getting thrown under the bus on Saturday by Adam?
Sure.
Yes.
I don't really remember that part.
Make it quick.
All right.
I have to pee.
No, I'm going to tell you specifically because I know you were blacked out on half of this.
Probably half. Yeah, I do remember this happening. Though.
I go outside because I want to go smoke a cigarette, and I walk into the tent because I hear Joey's voice, and it's you, it's Amy, it's Joey, it's Monica. And as soon as I enter, like fucking Jesus, you guys are like, Mikey! And I went, oh, fuck. Something bad's happening. And I'm gonna omit names in case anything gets public knowledge. But
She didn't listen to it.
all right, anyway, Courtney call. They're all like, Mike, meet Courtney. They're like, Mike, meet Courtney, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm okay with this. And then you come over, you put your hand on my over my shoulder. You're like, you'll like her. She's good. I think you guys will be good together. And I'm like, you guys are really setting me up.
I don't remember that part.
And I'm going.
He also was like, you should come on the show on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
didn't remember
what does that
that
say
either.
about your judge and girls?
Crazy apparently is attracted to me, and I'm attracted to crazy. I can it's
and
I don't know. I've said 15 words to Courtney in the last 5 years. So
but he puts
this was coming out of nowhere.
He puts his arm over me and he's like, I think you guys would be good together. It'll really work out well. And I'm like, all right, I'll take your word for it, because my dating experience has been dumpster fire after dumpster fire after dumpster fire lately, where there's been times where I just left. Like, it's that bad. So I was like, fuck it, whatever. So she starts talking, and I went, wow, she talks like a fucking Valley girl. What the shit? Maybe she's drunk. Whatever. So then I'm like, all right, I'm going to go have a cigarette. And they're like, oh, have her go have a cigarette with you. And she grabs my hand with the fucking hot apple cider that I have in there, grabs my hand. It pours all over both my hands. I get like first-degree burns.
See, now people think of hot apple cider. They think of like their two hands over the cup and they're like blowing on it and taking sips of it. This cider was scalding.
209 degrees.
Yeah, this was 1990 McDonald's coffee hot. All right? It was bad, and it spills all over my hands, and I'm still trying to be a nice guy, and I was like, let's just give her another chance. Let's see what happens. So I go outside, and I light up a cigarette. I give her one. She doesn't smoke the fucking thing. She just sits there and holds it, kind of like, and I keep lighting it a couple times. And then she starts talking about, like, oh, what's your sign? And I'm like, Cancer. And she starts going on about this, like the rising moon and the setting sun and all this stuff. And I'm like, and I'm trying to be a nice guy and talk and and ask questions and be, like continue the conversation, not have a lull. And meanwhile, I'm looking back at Joey and Monica through the window, and I'm going, you motherfuckers.
So it wasn't a good match. Sorry.
Oh, but I didn't want to be the asshole. It's like, fucking shut up. I didn't want to be that guy. So I was still talking and everything. And then finally, I guess her sister came by and was like, we're going. And I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you. So
Sarah's who you should have been talking to.
She's the one with the sugar,
the
right?
sugar, yeah, she was the sugar mama.
Man, you introduced me to the crazier of the crazies.
She had a baby. I didn't think you'd be interested.
It was sugar. Oh, but let's continue with something.
Has a child.
I love
His
when I
name is
fucking-
Eddie, and he's a 6-year-old cat.
Man, you almost had me with
I
6-year-old.
love when I fucking.
But it's a cat.
I check him out of the show.
Yeah. But it gets better. As soon as they leave, I go up to Adam, who's all right. 3 Sheets of the Wind. He was 5.
Oh
yeah, I was
man,
done, man.
He's getting like this close to me talking. He's like his lisp starts showing up.
I was okay.
Yeah.
I was okay for that whole thing, except like when everybody left, we started opening our gifts, and all of our gifts were booze.
And pot.
So I started just taking, I started trying everything, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I go upstairs.
Yeah.
Well, fell asleep. My feet.
And
so
then
usually
my
I
other sister showed up. No, so my sister-in-law was there, and my sister showed up at 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
in the
1 o'clock in the morning.
What?
While I'm like this, leaning on
After
the
work.
table,
She
asleep.
unfortunately had to work.
Oh yeah, that's right. She
She's
was.
a bartender.
Yeah.
She works the sloop.
But instead of passing out face down on the bed with my pants half off and my legs like on the floor and my pants were on, and I went backwards because I was afraid to get makeup on the bed.
Let me finish this though.
Oh, sorry.
There's
I'm
more.
sorry.
There's a little bit more.
I'm excited.
After they leave, I walk up to Adam and I'm like, dude, what were you thinking? And he goes, I thought it would be fun. Not forever, just a couple weeks, just to see how things go. Just a few weeks. And I went, you should have fucking told me that originally. Then I would have switched gears. The knob would have turned, and I would have gone in a completely different direction.
It's like, you should marry this lady.
I was playing potential boyfriend material, not let's have some fun material, which could have been called a completely different way. So I'm looking at Adam like, dude, you gotta specify next time.
You know how many horseradish meatballs I could have been eating?
Yeah.
Bloody
But
Mary
I mean,
meatballs I could have been eating at that time?
As a disclaimer, she's a sweet girl. She's very nice. She's very personable. She just has a few screws loose. Few. Like an entire boatload. I don't know. But she was very sweet. And it was actually interesting talking to her. Like, not like one of those things where I'm going to like remember. I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life, to be honest. I already told Joey and Monica, I'm like,
well, I mean, it's on the internet. So.
Well,
yeah,
I already.
There's no taking this back.
I already told Joey and Monica, I'm like, when you guys are renewing your vows in 20 years, I'm going to mention this story on how you threw me under the fucking bus. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. But I thought it was just an interesting, like, talking and finding out how weird people can be.
I'm trying to come up with a joke that has to do with them renewing their vows in 20 years, but it not being official for like 4 months after that.
Oh, yeah, they're officially married now. Right.
Yeah, they were like, do you want to come to a restaurant and we're going to get married there? I was like, didn't you do that? And they're like, well, this will be the... Yeah. So I went and like signed paperwork at a restaurant.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was a while later.
Oh, man.
But they did get married before us, so...
Well, I think that
it was a couple of months.
I think the reason, I think the reason why they did it was because they were like, oh shit, he's gonna be right.
Yeah,
yeah. No, that was all weird. I thought they eloped in like what was it, Cape Cod or something, and then they just had like the little get together.
Totally, they could have had married.
Yeah,
them
but they didn't
at
have a
any
marriage.
time,
They didn't have a
any
marriage
time. I could've
license.
signed
That
the
was the
paperwork
thing.
for them. I
Yeah,
said,
you could have done it that day, but they
I
didn't
could've
get a
done it
marriage
that
license.
day, but they were like,
Whatever.
Yeah, Brooke's
Which
Brooke's a minister, so
no shit.
she can marry you and I right now if you were so inclined.
No,
Oh wait, you can't
because we're all married.
Polygamy.
So she could,
If you guys were not married,
she could divorce us.
Look, I dodged a bullet, motherfucker. I dodged a big bullet.
yeah, she really couldn't do anything
I cannot
actually
divorce people. I can only marry them or baptize
if they
them.
have a marriage license.
I can't do. I'm already been baptized. About to say I can't do satanic baptism.
Well,
get these guys on the phone. They're like right down the road. We'll call them up.
Church of Satan.
Yeah.
I don't have them on speed dial.
I mean, I have Peter Gilmore's number.
That's fine.
All right, I have not been paying attention, so I only have one title.
I have one. And like either one of these is gonna win.
Yeah, they're
because
pretty good.
They both make sense. But yeah, we're gonna do titles because that's the end of the show.
Yeah, I figured.
We've gone way far.
Teletubby realness.
It's something to that
Yeah.
effect, but yeah.
A homemade Teletubby costume.
So, Mike, thank you for coming.
Thank you. I love actually being here. It's fun.
It's a whole lot of fun. We get lost in conversation with you.
I think we went on like 13 different conversations that ranged from
Tangents.
Yeah, I feel like I missed out on a bunch of things that I wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, I
But
missed out on
we
a few
just, like,
things too.
went
But
down
that's
weird
fine
roads.
because I'm not allowed to air my dirty laundry over the internet anymore.
So we got title. We have two titles, and the first one is Tinky Winky Had a Tumble.
You're gonna get a lot of hits from parents on that one.
And what was yours?
Kirk Cameron's Closet.
That one might actually be interesting.
I like Kirk Cameron's Closet.
I do too, because there's a lot going on in there in real life.
I see a cease and desist in the next week or two.
Write down hashtag Tinky Winky. And
I don't really know how to spell that.
Tinky.
I don't know.
Winky.
We can Google it later.
All right. Tinky Winky had a tumble in my bathtub.
Hashtag thrown under the bus.
Thrown into the tub.
Yeah, into the fire.
All right, well, I really have to pee, so let's stop podcasting.
All right. Next week, either Ryan O'Sullivan or somebody else.
I've got like 3 on the hook
right now.
All right. We're starting to ramp it back up. That's
Nice.
how it
Yeah.
goes.
That's what you gotta do.
Steve from
Alex. Yeah. I got this new neighbor, Alex. He just moved in. He's from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And he is the friendliest guy you've ever met in your life. That kind of friendly where you're like, can you just step
Tell
back?
him to bring
like,
over a suckling pig and we'll have a fucking
Can
podcast.
you just step
It'll
back
be
like
fine.
a foot?
A bottle of wine to a party he wasn't attending.
He showed up to the party.
Yeah.
He showed up to the party. He gave us cookies, wine, hung out for like 2 seconds just to say hi to us and like a couple people, and then left.
No shit.
Sounds very polite.
He's
That's
a
a
sweet,
very nice guy.
polite guy.
He might also be trying to throw off the scent from all the bodies in the basement.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It is.
Or he might be trying to like, get into
Get-
like a
Yeah.
kind of thing, I don't know. We'll see.
A Moana
Fingers
sandwich.
crossed. He's a handsome fella. All right.
Well, we-
So who
Moana
would-
sandwich.
There you go. That's the name of your show right there. The Moana sandwich.
I still like Kirk. No, we're
No,
going.
we're not
Kirk.
changing it.
No, that's a
can't
good
change
one.
it. Once
That-
we start talking about titles, you can't throw in new ones.
That's a good sizzler right there. That'll get you some hits.
Sizzler. All right.
Well.
So yeah, next week. Wow, you got something?
Well, we got potentially Steve. You know Steve.
Steve Perry.
What the fuck's his name?
Steve O.
No.
That'd be cool.
Hang on. Steve Ferris. From Fit Social.
Oh, Steve, handsome
Yeah.
Steve. we
Handsome
call
Steve.
him. We call him handsome
So
Steve.
the thing that's throwing a wrench into everything is Magnus
is
going to be here in the next couple of weeks, so I need to kind of.
You have to get him
Yeah.
on the show.
He's from fucking Iceland.
Yeah, you have to get him on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what
I
we're
remember.
talking about?
Yeah, when you came back.
So-
I watched the show most of the time.
Yeah, so we need to make sure that like we can fit him in. If he can come in on a Monday, that's ideal, but it needs to be whatever Monday works for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't want to
just
talk to an Icelandic person.
yeah, so I'm just trying to work
I have
that
so
out.
many
But I
questions
have
for him too.
Yeah, I have a couple other things. But I reached out to Steve today, and he was like, "Yeah, whenever."
All
So
right, cool.
yeah, now that Fit Social is open, I'd like to talk to him about it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
I will not be joining.
Let's talk about fitness.
yeah.
Don't get me involved.
He
man.
also works
I'm-
at
The rope guy. Yeah.
he also
yeah.
he also works at Millhouse.
Huh?
So he's a
Yeah.
yeah kind of knows everybody.
Yeah, he
and he's a
kinda
big
knows
beer guy too. So
Well, that's why he's
Yeah.
Jessica and Karina's friend.
yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, about to
There
say,
you
Yeah, he
go.
works
Don't
at
ask me about
he's a
fitness,
bartender at
'cause
Millhouse
He's a
too.
sloop guy, and he's
Yeah.
he's a
I just
bartender.
rage workout. I don't do fitness.
Yeah.
I just get angry and work out.
I just get stressed. Like my stress keeps my weight down. So
My-
the moment I'm
Yeah.
the moment
really
I
have to
stop
say.
being stressed is the
The show's
is
over
when
for
I-
Adam.
He's pee in a bottle.
Goodbye, everyone.